take off a couple of heads a night. Somebody give me a guillotine. I just might ride on my enemies. Thought can I fuck on my energy? Nowadays they just talk, but they talk about nothing. Nowadays everybody wanna say something. Goddamn, I'm the man and it feel like it. Give a damn about a hater when I feel like it. Not today, not today, not today, not tomorrow. Get out my way, please, I'm trying to get paid.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It is your boy, Ernie, the Blerd Without Fear. Got the homie Robo of Left Face TV. And today, we also got another person in the building with us. Got a special guest, Jordan Clark, writer. If you've been keeping up with his brother, you did Aquaman. And also, if I'm not mistaken, you've done, what was it? It was it Crimes and Crimes of Passion. I almost want to say, I kept wanting to say Crimes and Confession. I don't know why. It might be that, you know what, that's a spinoff. We're not talking about that. But but no, you've done some really cool stuff, and I think you also participated in the DC Power in the DC Power anthology as well. And like I said, you got some good stuff for us today. We're gonna talk about it, and y'all, sitting at home watching, you're gonna get to kind of sit in on this. You guys are gonna be enjoying what I like to effectively call, the Nerds of Culture podcast. We are the Woke Breakfast Club, the Woke Shade Room, the New York Undercover YouTube. No, man, I don't want him. I don't. Actually, no. You know what? I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it on the chin. Because us bald brothers, we gotta represent out here. Because man, this ain't it. This shit that's going on right now ain't it. I'm sorry. It just ain't. We gotta do better, man. You know what? I tell you what. I'm gonna take one I'm gonna take one for the team. I'm gonna take one for Team Bald for what was it? Leonard as as old girl was calling him. Leonard. There you go. What Lorne? Oh wait. Oh.
Just Hilarious, the new girl? No.
Oh my God. Look, and you know what? And I feel terrible. Because you know what? OBS hoed your boy out again.
What happened?
Changed all my shit. So that said, it's fixed now. But yeah, oh my God. The main thing that I like to always say for us is that we like to consider ourselves stewards of the culture. We're going to consider ourselves stewards of the culture, and we are going to take care of it by talking about this graphic novel that Jordan's working on, and one that I never fathomed the premise for. I never like when I heard about it, I immediately was like, we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this because this is it. This is the one. I was like, this is this is it. But no, Jordan, you have something coming up called Ancestral Recall. And this is a story that centers around a character by the name of Marcus, who basically finds himself in a pretty jacked up situation, I would say. His wife, is just, has disappeared, gone, trying to get her back, and who are the people that are gonna help him in his situation? Who can he rely on in this situation? He's doing a thing I feel like we all often have to do. We got to call on the ancestors. But yeah, he's not doing it figuratively. He's doing it like for real.
we don't do metaphor here.
Nah, nah. It's all in, baby.
So he needs to like reach deep down, right? Like what?
No.
The ancestors.
like like his peoples, our peoples. so talk to us. Like what? First off, let's tell the good people how you doing, because they didn't get to hear it at first. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm trying to balance the craziness of the real world with stuff that I want to bring in, joy and friends and family and all of that stuff. So like trying to remain level, but it's been a good day personally so far. I can't speak for America, but I can say I've been having a pretty good day.
Man, let me tell you something. I hear all of that because just earlier we were talking. I'm sitting on threads, right? So if you're on my threads, you sit there and you're like, boom, Israel, boom, Gaza, boom, the bill passed, boom, we're fucked, everything's burning down.
Alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah, alligator, boom, and all of a sudden, boom. Cannot believe Sherry did my boy Nick like that on Love Island. Love Island is fucking crazy right now. If you're not voting for that, and it's like, look, everybody needs their brain rot. Get out there, get your joy, get your brain rot in. It's not okay. Things are not okay right now. But that doesn't mean you can't be happy. You know what I'm saying? The little kids and guys out there playing games and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
you gotta find it where you can.
You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden they're like, oh shit. All right, it was your turn. Go ahead. Game on.
Well,
I mean, we could do it.
We're in a weird place. We're in a very, actually no. Fuck that. We're in the dumbest timeline. Timeline. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. That just is what it is. But like the Idiocracy is no longer a mockumentary. It's a straight that's a straight up BBC PBS funded documentary,
level,
right? It's like, nah, this is real. This is real life. Like, like one day I'm gonna have to be like, man, see, I'm gonna sit you down. You're gonna watch this documentary called The Idiocracy. Gonna get you up to speed on why the world is jacked up.
We don't even need it now. We just put on the news.
The news.
Many of the songs even talking like it's there's everything about this is unprecedented. Like, shit, what the fuck? I just noticed that. I got like it's like look, we knew it was gonna be bad, but if you had put this shit on TV, if you had made this a part of like oh hey like let's say during the election somebody put out a movie and like, hey, we're gonna put out a movie. I'm gonna show you what America's like, and you watch that movie and everything else. This is so unrealistic.
Yep.
This is so unrealistic. You guys are like jumped the shark. This is crazy, and here we are living it.
Well, the good news is we have our escapes for now.
Right. Like
we get to have our escapes until we no longer get to have them. But
that's right.
But one thing I was curious about is for you, Jordan, with Ancestral Recall. How did you find your way into doing the story?
So a couple things kind of came together. One, I was lucky enough to be part of the Milestone Initiative from DC Comics. So that was like a year-long program that they put us through, where it was a bunch of writers and artists of color or of different backgrounds that they brought in, and we got to like meet Reginald Hudlin, like meet Dennis Cohen, like talk with these people, get mentorship, get like business advice, all of this stuff. So it was really just like a transformative experience. But then also two things happened there. One, they put us in this workshop where we had to make like a hero and make a villain. And so, they would choose one, like you were in a group of 4. And so, they would choose one hero from the group and one villain from the group. And that would be kind of your presentation. And so they chose the villain that I made. but the hero that I made became Melvin, the main character of Ancestral Recall. So that
Mm.
was kind of like, this moment for me where I was kind of sitting and thinking about, a lot of different things and kind of, soaking in the inspiration from Milestone and soaking in the inspiration from just kind of, we were at like the DC offices. So like just kind of like walking around and like seeing all the history and kind of trying to take that in. Cause I joke a little bit that this book is like Dial H for Black people, where you can just like pull up, an ancestor when you need it. You don't know which one you're gonna get, but it's gonna be the
Right.
one that you need.
Right.
But also there is where I met Adigan Ilhan, who is the artist on this book,
Mhm.
who went on, he's done a lot of stuff with Poison Ivy.
The
He
Shadow
got the
Cabinet.
opportunity. Yep, did Shadow Cabinet. He's got some other DC work coming out. And just kind of watching his work and the things that he was doing, I was like, man, it would be great to work with that dude one day. Like if I can, you know, if we both have, time and schedule
Mhm.
on a project that works. And so, a lot of things just in that moment a couple of years ago, like 4 years ago at this point now, like we're just kind of going around in my brain, and eventually, I kind of put it together because it's been since like 2020
Oh
that I've
wow.
been kind of like putting the bones of this together, and then I
Mhm.
was able to link up with Ahoy Comics. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of everything we were just talking about. I mean, it's also surreal to kind of see like things in this book that I was thinking about like almost 5 years ago now, like being real things in the world that wasn't my anticipation. I mean, just in terms of like the way that Black
Mm.
history has kind of been targeted specifically, by this
Mm.
administration, but also,
Mm-hmm.
there's the main villain of the book is like a sentient AI corporation, and like
Mm.
Mm.
there's a lot of things that have kind of become more prescient than I anticipated when I was working on
Mm-hmm.
this. But yeah, I mean it's been a very interesting journey to hear, because I think every step of the way, I've kind of been able to take in more information. That time gave me opportunities to research different, historical figures and kind of figure out the
Mm.
perfect people to put into this book. And so yeah, that was kind of really my thing, is I was thinking a lot about, you know, for a debut book, this is my debut creator owned project. So like if I'm gonna get
Right.
a chance to do something for the first time, like I
Mm.
might as well just take a big swing and see what
Right.
happens, because I'd rather do that than do something a little bit safer, and then people are like, that was all right.
Right. Right. Right. Right.
I mean, you're not
Damn.
wrong. Like that's kind, and that's something I've noticed too. Like with it's like in the creator owned market is like you have people out there like really like swinging for the fences because you're in a fight for eyeballs basically.
Mm.
Hmm.
You're in a fight for people's attention, their time, their money.
Real estate.
Yeah, I mean,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Now, people got to buy this stuff, and the
yeah.
shops got to put it
Yep.
on their shelf. Yep.
I tell people all the time that yeah, if you want to see some of the don't get me wrong. I think Marvel, DC, whatever, all that stuff's great. But yeah, when you go into like the creator owned space, that's kind of where you're in like like it's almost like learning that there's a matrix. It's like because that's where like you're like, oh my god, like there's I know kung fu now. Like it's like it's kind of like that because that's where you see and that's where you're gonna see some of the most original stories. And when I saw because it was actually kind of funny how this all lined up. I had actually seen a press release for Ancestral Recall about roughly the time that you and I spoke. So it was
Yeah.
like, so like when you reached out to me about it, I was like, oh yeah, no, I was like, oh yeah, no, 100%, because
Yeah, no, I was
I was
I
like,
was
it's
talking
right
to your
there.
FBI, the FBI agent who's watching your internet feed. I was like, has he seen it yet? All right.
Slide this through, man. Slide. Go ahead, man. Hit go ahead and release it. Go ahead and put it out there. He's ready. No, but when I saw it, I was like, dude, I was like, no one's telling stories quite like this one. And I liked the idea of what of what it was you were putting together here, a
Mhm.
story that's kind of like framed through the lens of Black history, but doing it in a way that kind of has this there's this twist on it that we've never really looked at before. So yeah, the idea that a lot of this stuff, like as you were writing it, just kind of became like, oh damn, like all this stuff is kind of playing out in such a way that like it's like it's making the story like that much more, more impactful and timely is kind of wild.
That is kind of crazy how you talked about AI, because I mean, like, look, I'm a tech kind of geek, and I love like new shit like that, and I hate that AI is such a not good thing on the environment and shit like that, because really there was a time where I'm like, this is awesome. I'm the dude that's like, man, when they can implant video games into my brain, I'm taking it. I'm doing it,
Well, I think that's the interesting thing about it, is that like the way that so many of these things work, when you think about advancements in technology, it's the unfortunate truth is that Black people and people of color are kind of like the last thing that they think about.
That's right.
When you think about like, say, like facial recognition technology,
Absolutely.
like doesn't work with us. I mean, there was a time
and
where
they still roll that shit out anyway.
Yeah, so I'm working on an essay in line with Ancestral Recall that's just kind of looking at AI and race. And one of the crazy things that I found, I don't know if you guys knew this, was I think it was like 2018, Google had to restrict its AI photo search because it was grouping Black people and gorillas together in people's albums. And so instead of fixing it, they just said, well, what if it can't search gorillas? And so now we don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, fixed. It's fixed. You don't gotta worry about it.
See,
Yeah.
are we not benevolent?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I think a lot of the times, by the time we have seen the effects of what it is, it's not even that it's too late, but it's just like people are like, oh yeah, that is bad that we did that. And it's like, well, what are we going to do now? Because we can't really take a step back. I think
right. It becomes
people
too
are
big
kind
to
of
fail. But governments start pouring billions into stuff, and then you're asking people to like eat billions on billions of dollars, and like, sorry, we have racist AI now.
all of these companies have pumped. I mean, Google, Elon, Meta, like all of them have pumped billions of dollars into this technology that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're gonna
a nuclear thing, a 6 Mile Island or 3 Mile Island, whatever it's called.
And we got Grok here in Memphis.
That's what I was gonna say. Elon's got
great
two
supercomputers.
And they are literally poisoning, the environment and changing the air quality in my city, which is crazy.
And that's the thing. People are like, but like, what if I ask Grok to tell me what this NBA trade means if it was like a Star Wars metaphor?
Right.
That's a good use of my. It's like,
it's like, I mean, the environment versus me getting like some unimportant information. Well, the thing that, and here, I want to kind of showcase this as well, just because you were talking just a moment ago about Adagun's art, and which, by the way, if y'all aren't hip already, if you're not hip already, you probably should, because that motherfucker be cutting up. So that's all.
He's going places. I mean, he's been telling me about he's got some DC work coming up that hasn't been announced yet. But when he said what it was, I was like,
yeah. Now
look,
look, it's one of those like, look, on the come up. I love to see it. I love to see it.
We love to see it.
Oh yeah. But I just want to show just real quick here. Just I'm gonna bring these up and just kind of let y'all take a kind of a peek at what you can expect. And one thing, let me ask you this too, because I don't I know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Does Adagon do his own color work? Because I feel
So colors,
Mhm.
colors are being done by Pippa Boland,
Okay.
who's done a lot of like 2000 AD Titan
Mhm.
stuff.
See, okay, for no, I gotta you can't just you can't just say that, and I'm not gonna address it. Y'all 2000 AD that ain't okay. Y'all see y'all don't understand. Y'all understand 2000 AD that's big league. That's big league shit.
Yeah.
That's like 2000 AD has literally been running for longer than the title of the book. 2000 AD sitting up on over 2000 some odd issues. That's a prestige title.
Yeah.
That's like finding out that you're a professor at a college and got tenure or some shit.
Yep.
But no, but in all seriousness, like it just I wonder because I was like, if it wasn't if it the reason why I kind of wanted to kind of touch on that just for a second is because if it wasn't Adagun, I was gonna say like whoever is doing colors on this really knows how to to complement
Hmm.
what he's doing. And I always like seeing where like in instances like this, the way that Adagun renders the characters and stuff like that. It has this look that like is really stylized, but also at the same time, like it just has like a vibe to it that just like is just,
Hmm.
I don't know. It's good shit. I love to see it. And yeah, the color work on this, especially like on shots like some of these like down here at the bottom,
Yeah.
that's like I said, that's money right there. That's money all day, every day. So yeah, y'all are cooking. Y'all
We're
are
trying
cooking right
to.
now. Well, actually, you kind of already gave a little bit of insight on how you and Adagun started working together. But one thing I was kind of curious about, and this is something that I know that in my audience, I have a lot of people who, because I get this question all the time myself. You know, they're always like, "Oh man, like I want to, I want to make comics. I want to, try and figure out how to do this, but like, I don't know how to." How to find an artist or how to communicate with an artist in such a way. Like, I don't know how the collaborative process works. Like, when it was all like being set up, like just getting down to the nitty gritty of like okay, well, do I have Adagon? Do I have who's going to be coloring? How do I get my
Hmm.
team together? Like how was that process for setting up Ancestral Recall for you?
Yeah, it was interesting because I left the Milestone Summit and
Mm,
was kind of like, all right, I got these ideas. And, at that point, I wasn't quite sure like what the next move was because, we were still finishing up the program and we were
mm,
doing, like one of the showcase comics for them. And like, that was kind of my main focus. But as I was kind of coming to a close, I was like, all right, so now I have an opportunity here to like get something out, pitch something, work on something. And was lucky enough to connect with Darren Bennett, who was working at Ahoy at the time, and also like is the head of Ad World Design, who does like tons and tons of lettering for
mm.
basically all the comics.
Yeah, I'm about to
And
say you see that
so
name a lot.
yeah, no, I mean they get around, and like I mean he's definitely been at it for a long time.
Mm.
But it's dope to see like that he's got his own stable of letters and is kind of bringing in all of these different people because like they do great work. And so like whenever you see the name on a book, it's like that it's going to be some good stuff. So um but yeah, I was able to connect with him because he was at C2E2, and I was just chatting him up and just talking about comics and what he was doing with Ahoy. And he was like, oh, yeah, we've got this coming out, that coming out, but
Mm.
we're always looking for new stuff, so if you got something. And I had like 70% of something, and I was like, yeah, I got something, let me give me like 2 weeks, and I'll send you a proposal.
Mm.
But at that time I still hadn't really focused it on like an artist or anybody like that. And Adigan again just came back to the front of my mind, and I was like, man, I wonder if he's working on anything right now because he was still in between, Poison Ivy. Like I think he was getting ready to wrap some of that work up.
Mhm.
So I was like, maybe there's a chance that he's free. So I hit him up and was just talking to him, and he was like, "Oh, Ahoy!" Like he was going to Syracuse at the time, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like Tom Pyre's like one of the people here at the program," and I was like, "Oh, so the guy like running the company?" And
Yeah.
so from there it was kind of like this might all these things seem to be coming together. This might kind of work out. So we're both able to kind of work some things and get it in there. And getting able to work with him was great just because I think, like I said, at the time he was doing, a lot of like DC mainstream superhero stuff. And just in our conversations, he was like, this is great and I'm enjoying it, but also I kind of want to experiment and kind of break out a little bit. Not even,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
because DC has like strict house style guidelines, but more so just like, when you're drawing Poison Ivy or you're drawing a Batman or you're drawing a Flash or, any of these characters, like they have to look a certain way. The book
Mhm.
has to look a certain way. You kind of can't go too crazy, unless you're like, Javier Rodriguez or somebody where it's just like I'm gonna do me. Um, so like this was kind of an opportunity for him to say, okay, I kind of have more autonomy in the situation. I can play around with the layouts. I can play around with the design. I can play around with my style and like some of these characters. Because he was like, not even I want to make it look cartoony, but I definitely want to lean into like a pseudo manga style where this
Mhm.
isn't, again, like my traditional style, but also just like, the traditional superhero look. I kind of want to play around with things a bit. So it was great to kind of have that collaborative back and forth, just because for me, like I never want the people I'm working with to feel like, 'cause I'm not Alan Moore, like Alan Moore is just
Mhm.
like, this is it, period. Like
Right.
don't deviate at all
Right.
from a single, anything that I've written. And I'm very much just like, hey man, if you can make this better, please do. Like if you see
Mhm.
something, if you have an idea, if you want to add something, so like,
If you want to make it into a movie, like whatever,
hey, come
whatever.
on, let's do it. So even like Petunia the panda, who Mirren is like, kind of carrying around, like he just put Petunia into something, and I was like, yeah, no, that's good. Like let's do that. Let's roll with that. Like we can figure out
Mhm.
how to work these things in here. So like
Yeah.
I'm very much like an improv comedy. It's like yes and like okay, great, this is great.
That's
Let's how can we build on this? And so it's been great working with him just because, he is not just supremely talented, but I think, is always looking for ways to really bring the story to life, in a
Mhm.
way that feels more than just okay, I got hired to do a job, so let me just draw, these panels. Like he's really thinking
Mhm.
about it. He's really putting a lot of, intention into each of the pages and the layouts. And so, every time I got a page back, I was like, damn, like this this is great.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I think just that collaborative effort for people who are trying to make comics and looking for artists,
Mhm.
my recommendation is always just like it's very much a local thing, you know what I mean? Like if you think about even back in the day,
Mhm.
um, a lot of people who came before me, in that generation of like Matt Fraction and Kelly Sue DeConnick and like people who were just on the cusp of like the mid 2000s, like they were all in the
Mhm.
Warren Ellis chat room talking to each
Mm.
other. They were all just fans, like getting to know each other and talking about,
Mm-hmm.
the stories and the comics that they wanted to make, and then they all, seemingly came up, together. But it's like those are the people you need to find. You need to find
Yeah.
people who are not even just like, when you say on your level, like it's not to put people down, but more so to say like if you've never made a comic before, like odds are it's going to be difficult for you to hire, Dan Moore, right? Like
Right.
that's
Yeah.
not how that's going to work. Like you're
Yeah.
probably going to have to find
Yeah.
somebody closer to the level that you're working on. And even if
Mhm.
you're like, let's just do a 2-page comic, let's just do a 3-page comic, let's just do something small, I can pay you $100. Like what would that
Mm-hmm.
get me?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And like trying to
Mm-hmm.
figure that out because you know, the more
Stick
practice.
figure, 2 stick
Yeah.
figures.
Hey, the more practice you get with it, the
Yeah.
more, you know, you get to
Yeah.
build that relationship with somebody. You know, it's not even that you never know who's going to take off, you know, but it's more so like you never know, just in terms of like that collaborative bond. You never know if you're going to
Mhm.
find somebody who's like, oh, they get it, like they get me, like we're right here with it. And so,
Mm.
you know, it's better to aim people around your area if you go to a comic book shop and like just put up a, you know, hey, looking for an artist flyer, you know, here's my email, hit me up. Or you know, local conventions, things like that, where you see artists, you know, showing their work, like go talk to them, make a connection, see what's going on, because
Mhm.
those are the people that you're going to really get in with, you know, initially, and then from there you never know what's going to happen.
I
Two
can.
things.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Two things from the chat. First thing is from Sigfang. Our Twitch is still showing Blur Without Fear. I'm sorry, Blurred Cave, old title. I tried to change it, but I don't know the code. Second thing, they said that
Oh,
your
yeah.
book is. They said that the dude in your book is like Sammy from The Sinners. Somebody said in the chat. You know, the power to call
Oh.
up the ancestors.
So
What?
off,
Yeah, go ahead.
off that, so it's interesting because when Sinners came out and I saw that scene, you know, trying to explain what the concept of ancestral recall was, not even like the book, but just like the idea of what that means. Like it was kind of like, you know, some people would get it, some people kind of be like, oh,
Right.
okay, but that now I could just shorthand be like, you remember that scene in Sinners where
Yeah.
Preacher Boy,
Yeah.
just it's that, it's like that. That's what's happening.
There you go.
And now everybody's like, oh yeah, I get it now.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
know
like,
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it
me
depends
and
who you
Ryan
talk to.
Coogler, right here,
You know,
me and
yeah.
Ryan, you know.
That's it.
Look,
You know what
finger.
I think Ryan Coogler stole that idea from you. And was like, ooh, see,
I
nah,
mean,
that's
look,
at
he
least a
can't
shout
prove he
out.
didn't.
At least a shout out.
Look, Ryan can't prove he didn't. So he can't beat the charges.
I mean, if he wants to, you know, acquire a comic from an indie comic writer, you know,
Hey.
that
Imagine.
might not be, yeah, hey,
Proximity.
who could say?
That would
Yeah.
be dope.
Hey, proximity media. Where you at? Where you
Yes,
at?
manifesting.
I need you
Let's
to,
do
to get the Alan Moore spark where you just like explode into like, you know, everything, right? And then I could just be like,
Yeah, but then they
I
do
talked
me
to them.
dirty though, and then they turn my Watchmen into
See,
you know.
yeah, you learn. That's really what the power of the ancestors are about, right?
And then
The
I got
power
to
of the
frame the
anc-
check on the wall and be like, I
See?
can't spend that.
Well, this is why I always tell people, if you ever hear the word option, say no. When someone's talking, they say, "Hey, we want to option your story," just be like, "I'm a wait."
See, and that sounds positive to me. I'm be like, oh,
Yeah, I know.
I want options. I like options. Shit.
Look, no, because option means they can get they can take your story off the street, and
Damn.
no one else can get it, and they don't have to do anything with it.
There's been a lot of stuff that you
Yeah.
know, once it gets optioned, you're like, oh, that's dope. Like I don't know what happened to it, but I remember
Mm-hmm.
Prince of Cats from Ron and Wimberly got optioned, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, dope, I want to see that movie. And then like I didn't hear anything else, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh no, what happened to that?
That is like, or you know what else can happen is that if it's optioned, what'll happen is if they don't produce your story, they can ultimately just say, well, we're gonna do this thing, and while it sounds exactly like your shit, we actually kind of filed the serial numbers off, so bye. Like they can hit you with that one. You know, so that's why I always say, like, when if you're anybody in the chat, if you ever hear that shit, you hear the word option, just be like, you know what, I'm gonna see myself out.
Hey, so do me a favor. You know, we
Yes.
talked about like how you got into not you, fool. Jordan.
Oh, sorry. God, I didn't know shit.
How can I help you? All right, Blerd. My next question for you,
No. I'm just...
want you to talk about the story. I want you to talk to the chat, pitch the story. You know, we got the, you know, we got it. We call some the ancestors and solving stuff, but like, how crazy is this gonna go? Like, you know, what is it? Is there? It's already fantastical in that premise alone. But where we go from here, like, you know, obviously you don't want to give us spoilers, but you know, how many issues are we looking at? Is this the one and done? What are we looking at?
So Ancestral Recall is 5 issues. Comes out on August 6th. Final order cutoff is this Monday. So if you're listening, you're like, oh, I like this, like, please go to your local comic book shop and pull that for me.
There you go.
But the story follows Melvin Waring, who is a kind of abstract painter living in Oakland. He's kind of reclusive. He's kind of eccentric. He's kind of been out of the public light for about a decade or so. But you know, he's living his best life with his wife June, and you know, around the neighborhood there's kind of been some disappearances happening. Some of the people that, you know, you kind of take for granted, like, you know, the bus driver or the, you know, cashier at the grocery store, people that you kind of see every day, like, just start turning up missing. And, you know, their neighbors kind of like, what is going on? This is strange. Everybody else is kind of like, I don't know, maybe they got a new job. Maybe they moved away. Maybe, you know, anything could have happened.
Sure.
But you know, surprisingly enough, the next day, Melvin's wife disappears, and now he's kind of, you know, freaking out. He doesn't know what to do. And kind of he's having this panic attack, and as this is happening, he's able to kind of tap into this power of, you know, calling on these historical figures. And, you know, the way that it typically works is he kind of has this, it's almost like a vision, you know, he's kind of pulled into this place where he's face to face with them, having these conversations with them, either learning a skill from them or, you know, acquiring some information from them. And then when he comes back to our world, he's able to kind of use that power, use those information to get to the next step. So he's searching for his wife. And as things kind of escalate from here, like we're going into the future, we're going into the past. We're going to see, you know, again, this AI corporation, the Modern Living Corporation, kind of like start to take over in some nefarious ways, and Melvin and June, you know, on both ends of the time spectrum kind of have to come together to figure these things out. And so you know, it's a really cool opportunity to pull in, again, you know,
She had
actual
Melvin and
history.
June, so she's doing work on her end too to get out. Okay, that's
Absolutely, yeah. I had a couple different versions of the story, and like one of the things that I love, this is me as a nerd, deep cut, you know, the 52 series at DC. I'm an Elongated Man fan. And so at
nice.
the end of it, you know, Ralph and Sue are both dead, but they tease the idea of these ghost detectives. And they never followed up on it, which made me very sad. But you know, like I was kind of like, oh, initially I was like, well, maybe June, you know, passes away somehow, but like she's kind of like, you know, the spiritual, you know, assistant to Melvin, and like, you know, they're able to work together. But then I was like, you know, Gail Simone would kill me, right? Because you can't, you have to stop killing the significant other,
That's right.
specifically, you know, the
Freaking
wife.
Yeah.
Like you have
right,
to, you
right.
can't keep doing that. And so I was like, well, I mean, she doesn't have to die. She can just go into the future. Like we can just like
Yeah,
split them up in that way.
and they're fighting
Um,
to meet each other.
Be back in the
Yeah.
middle.
so so yeah, I mean, it's a story about, you know, their love and their relationship in a lot of ways. Like I based them off of Thelonious Monk and his wife Nellie. Thelonious
Okay.
Monk was like a genius jazz composer. Also, like if he was alive today, would have been diagnosed with many things because the
Oh,
man
Yes.
like couldn't couldn't get through the airport, you know, on his own without his wife. And so like, you know, their relationship was very unique because like he at once was like this incredibly famous person, genius, you know, creator, but also like rarely did interviews, like rarely was out in public if he wasn't performing. And like
right.
his wife was, you know, not his legal manager, but like she handled his money, she made sure he got paid, she made sure his
Mm-hmm.
travel was arranged, she like, you know, took care of a lot of things, made his clothes, you know, sometimes like they were like very tight together. And
Right.
so I kind of wanted to recreate that, you know, with Melvin and June, where it's like, you know, Melvin's not a people person, would rather not go outside, would rather not speak to people, doesn't like technology, is very much just like in his own world most of the time, and June is the one that will kind of drag him out, either help him, take his work where it needs to go, or set up business things for him. But beneath all of that is just like this enduring relationship which has been going on for
That's
30,
awesome.
40 years. And so I really wanted to highlight that, because I think one of the things that people have been telling me is like, I really don't see older black couples in
Mhm.
anything in
Hmm.
movies and television and books, and so like having a chance to see, these characters not necessarily be, pushed to the side because, they're in their, 60s and 70s, but more so like they're still vital, active, not just members of society, but like their love is still very much alive. Like they're not just hanging on until the end. Like they're very much still, a part of each other's lives. And so having that be, kind of a crux that the story revolves on, while there's, you know, robots, trying to chase them down, and, all kinds of other crazy stuff happening, like their relationship is kind of the central part that I kept coming back to with the story. So that's my short, long sell of the book.
The ancestors
uh
that get recalled, are we gonna see people we know, or are they gonna be like? Because I saw one in the previews that
mhm.
you had shared, like like the detective that he comes back. Like at least I've never heard of him. Are we gonna get like famous names, or are you gonna be teaching us some stuff?
I think that was really one of our main goals
Mhm.
in kind of trying to find historical figures. It was a balance of like, plot wise, we need Melvin to do something, right? Like he's in a
Mhm.
situation where he might need to fight somebody, or he's in a situation where he might need to like drive a car, or like, do something he doesn't have experience with. So like, who's somebody that he could call on that would be able to help facilitate that. At the same time, we wanted to have people that you probably haven't heard of before, just because I
Mm-hmm.
think so much of Black history in two ways. One,
It's
like,
untold,
yeah, we don't know these things, right? Like we don't
right?
get this information. It's not stuff that you get taught in school. For a lot of Black people, like there's a lot of things I know about Black history that kind of feel like osmosis. Like
Mm,
I
Mhm.
just learned it because other Black people told me about it.
right.
It
I
wasn't
mean, that happened the
necessarily.
other day. Like, I'm personally not. I'm not African American. I'm, I have black in me. I'm Puerto Rican, but I'm not
Yeah.
African American. And we were talking about. Blerd was talking to me about some stuff, and he was telling me. I already forgot the name. It was a black cowboy, and
Oh,
he had said this name, and I was like, "Who's that?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot you're not black."
was it Bass? Was I talking about Bass Reeves?
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Bass Reeves, the inspiration
yeah.
for the Lone
Lone
Ranger.
Ranger. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, I
So.
mean, later in this story, we meet Bill Pickett, who was like the first Black rodeo cowboy, like very
Hmm.
famous for his time.
Mm.
And
So some of these names, if if you grew up in black culture, especially black American culture, you're gonna remember it. But if you're like me,
Hmm.
yeah, you might be like, oh, cool, I learned something new.
I think it's a little bit of both, because there
Hmm.
might be some names that ring a bell, and there might be other names that you're like, I don't know. Like
Hmm.
even for me researching some of these people, like in the first issue, we meet Jean Louis Michel, who was like the greatest sword fighter of the 19th century. Like he
Mm.
just
Hmm.
was so good that Napoleon was like, I need you in the French army. Like I know you're Haitian, but like we need you. I need to pull you over here. And so there's stories like that where it's like, I think a lot of the history that you do learn, is kind of, it revolves around pain. It revolves around a lot of, just like the struggle of Black people in America. So like, if it's not civil rights related, if it's not, like,
Of course,
civil justice related, like a lot of the times, it's not even that it gets pushed to the side, but I mean, then you learn like a Black man invented the super soaker, and a Black person invented the stoplight, and a Black person invented the microwave, and
mm.
like all of these things that you just, why would that be brought to your attention? But it's like, once it is brought to your attention, you're like, oh, okay, like, and that's something I can take with me. That's something that I know, and not only that I could share with other people, but it is kind of this inspirational thing where, I think a lot of the figures in this book you'll find are people that maybe like didn't do something traditionally groundbreaking, but like what they did do, like, there's Ronald Duncan, who was the first American ninja, like not
Mhm.
black ninja, but just period ninja, like from America. Like he went to Japan and did like the whole training and like came back and was like stamped and certified. So it's like
No
there's people
shit.
like that who it's like, yeah, again, why would you learn that information in school or
Yeah.
other
Right.
places? But it's also like to know that is like very
Today
cool.
in ninja
like,
history. Yeah.
yeah.
see, here's the thing though, like, because and this is what I love about stuff like this is that our history is that deep, that it
Yeah.
runs that deep, but like this could be like a great opportunity for a lot of people who don't know. You
Mhm.
know, and maybe open up some eyes because a lot of people like I remember when Watchmen came out.
I was about to
The
say,
yeah the
The HBO.
yeah the HBO
Uh-huh.
Watchmen show. I remember like there were lots of people that I encountered. Like I knew about the Tulsa massacre,
Massacres.
but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
and I knew about a few others, but what like so like it kind of worked on multiple levels where like
Mhm.
for people who had no idea whatsoever, your
Yeah.
world your mind got opened up to a piece of history that was hidden from you that you never knew existed. But for people like me who were already familiar, my eyes got opened up even further because I started learning about more stuff like that I was like, oh, because like I knew the ones that I feel like most people will probably know. Like if you knew about one, you probably know about these. Like you probably knew about Rosewood, you probably knew about Wilmington, and you probably knew about Tulsa. Those probably like the ones you
Yeah.
might have known the most. But then you started looking into it, you're like, oh, wait a minute, well there was all these other ones too. Like it was literally
Mhm.
like across the country. Like there's probably not a single state in the country where the exact same thing didn't happen. Like it was all over the place. So yeah, I like the idea of this because for me, I like learning things. And when a comic can, for one, tell me a good story, but also open my eyes on some things, to me, that's always just like a 1-2 combo that really makes that story that much more impactful. So, yeah.
Well, when I think about too, like, Bitterroot, the initial
Yeah.
run had the Red Summer that I
Yep.
think a lot of people were like, oh, is that just a thing you made up for a comic book? And it's like, no, that's a very real thing that happened in real life. And
Sit
they
down.
yeah,
let me talk to you.
they had the great, the back matter and the single issues where you could kind of, get further information. And I think part of our goal too is that hopefully, people read about some of the people in this book and they say, well, I want to know more. Like,
More.
that's very
Right.
interesting. Like that's we're giving you, bits and pieces because, it's 20 pages. We can't tell you everybody's full life story and every issue, but like, we're trying to give you enough to get you kind of hooked in to where you say, oh, okay, like that's kind of cool. Like who is this person? Like there's, the first black woman race car driver. It's like, well, who was that? Like that's something I want to know more about because, I think a little bit what you're talking about, Ernie, is like we're everywhere in history, and I think a lot of the times people are like, oh, well, black people did X, Y, and Z. And it's like, I think we did anything, everything. Like, what can you think of? Like,
That's it.
whatever it is that you can consider, like we were a part of that, because we were a big basis of what made this country. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so, like, I
Well,
think
the birth of the human species. Everything from Africa, and then people are surprised. Shit, they even the sewing machine, huh? Like, no, way more shit than
Well, no,
that.
even better, they get that 23andMe. They get that 23andMe, like, oh man, I didn't know that I had. I'm 164th African. I didn't know that was possible. And it's like,
they
there's
love
a
being
reason
Cherokee
why.
too.
Yeah,
Just a little bit of that.
Well, like, this was always my favorite.
132. 132. Can I say it now?
Yeah, right. my personal favorite I used to always hear in school was like, yeah, man, I'm like a quarter Dutch, I'm Scotch Irish, and I got some Cherokee in me too. I was like, yeah, for a bunch of people who can't stand like all of those things,
Yeah.
y'all really love to claim them. But heaven forbid y'all find out y'all got some Negro in you. Like, okay, all right.
Hey man, that one drop rule was real. You know, people forget about that.
Oh no no oh. It's like and I tell people all the time, man. I don't like to be one of those people who gatekeeps blackness. So I say, you know what? If they want to impose the one drop rule on us, I'm gonna impose it on myself. You got one drop, you black. Like I tell my I tell my child all the time. You know, their mother is white. I'm like, hey, you black.
That's right.
For all intents and purposes, I was like, I said they gonna slam your head on the hood of the police car just as quickly as they gonna slam mine. So you black.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you don't want to wake up and be black at 22. You know,
No.
what I mean? You want to know that from an early age.
You're right.
Yeah.
So you know how to move.
Right.
Speaking of, like, how does it feel? How does it feel being a reverse racist and writing something that is not going to be allowed in schools? Like, how dare you? You know,
Well,
like
it's kind of fun. You know, I like.
it's good. Actually, it's very good. Yeah.
Well, I think, you know, a couple things. I mean, Ernie knows this because he was on the show. I do a podcast called White People Won't Save You, which is about
That's right.
white savior films and reimagining them from, you know, a black perspective.
that's
So,
dope. That's
you
dope.
know, if I was already not banned from schools, you know,
you're on a list somewhere.
Yeah,
you're on a
I mean,
list
it's fine.
somewhere.
But I think for me, you know, I think for me, you know, one of the things that I feel, you know, it's weird because you never want to attach importance to your work in a way that, you know, kind of feels like you're throwing a bit too much on it. But as we've kind of gotten closer to release and like the real world keeps doing its thing, like I feel like this is the right book for the right moment,
Right.
because, you know, in a lot of ways, like you were saying, you know, like the bans on not just, you know, Black history, but anything that has to do with diversity, anything that has to do with, you know, and that, I mean, it's, you know, it's they're focusing on Black people, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean, it's not going to be the place where they stop, you know, anything that's not centered around, you know, the ideology that they want, that you're not going to get that, you know. I mean, it's Black people, it's queer people, right? Black people and trans people, and Black trans people are like the crazy intersection, right? So
That's
like
it.
I think what I would like to do with this book is really get it into the hands of not just as many people as possible, but I think for kids who, you know, want to learn more about history or have an idea of, oh, you know, like I really like, you know, this historical figure, that historical figure, but like, you know, other history is kind of boring, or like I don't even know where to start. Like, who would I, you know, kind of look up? And it's like, you know, certainly I remember being in school and kind of tuning out at times where I'm like, yeah, this isn't my favorite class, or this isn't my favorite, you know,
Right.
favorite thing. But, you know, I know at the same time that, you know, if we had read like Invisible Man in school, I would have been like, oh, okay. You know,
Right.
if you would have
Right.
Talk
if
to
we would
him.
have read a couple of other books, you know, I would have been like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And so, you know, I know a lot of educators and librarians who are very much like they want this kind of stuff, you know, to bring it into the classroom, to bring it into the library, because they know that kids want it, you know. And I think really when you think about the push to kind of hide information, remove history, you know, it's not an accident. It is very intentional. And, you know, you get to thinking about the question of like, well, why don't they want you to know that?
Mm-hmm.
What
That's
would
exactly it.
knowing that entail? Like what would change about your perspective if you knew these things, even these small things, you know what I mean?
That is exactly the reason. Real quick, chat. We got a few minutes left, so if you want to throw in some super chats and ask Jordan something, let's do that. I was literally talking to my kids, and we were talking about the history of the United States. We were talking about like wars, right? And I was even saying, like, even World War II, like we say, well, we haven't had, we haven't been honorable since World War. We weren't honorable then. Most of them, not a lot of America were fans of Nazi Germany. We weren't going to get into there because it was going to be too divisive. To fight Hitler was going to be too divisive for our country. We were not the good guys. We went in because we were about to stake our place as a world power in a post World War II era because they wanted to be on the creation of the UN. And then Pearl Harbor gave them their in. Like, we've never been the good guys ever. No. And so that is why they, and I joke, but I mean, if your book got on in front of some school board in bumfuck Florida or Missouri, it hands down would not be allowed. And you would say, why? Well, because it's trying to say that white people didn't. No, it's just showing Black history. Listen, if you show the real history of the United States, you will know that we are garbage. Yes. And they fear that, because then what do? We're all gonna leave? We'll all stop paying taxes? What does it matter if we know it's garbage? What's gonna happen is then we'll demand change. Mm-hmm. And as long as you think that we're the good guys, then what are we gonna do? What are you gonna revolt for?
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I've worked with kids, and I think a lot of what the talk often is like, well, I just don't want my kid feeling bad. I don't want them to learn about this stuff and feel bad about themselves and feel bad about where they come from. And it's like, is that what you think is going to happen? Because a lot of the times when you talk to kids and you explain something to them in simple terms, they get it, right?
Yeah,
they were like, oh, that person was bad, right? Like, that person was not a good person. Like, on my podcast, we joke all the time, like, somebody's mom spit on Ruby Bridges, right? Like, somebody's mom is the woman who did that. And so, like, you don't want your kid to learn that grandma was like hardcore racist,
right?
And so, like, you would rather just have a different version of history in which like, it was good, it wasn't great, but then it got better and now everything's fine, as opposed to like, oh, well, why are things this way, right? If you don't know about the GI Bill, then you don't know about redlining, and then you don't know about, the way that neighborhoods have been kind of pushed around, eminent domain, all of these things that you would say, oh, that seems fucked up. That they did that to those people. And so, by hiding it, it's like, well, that's just the way things are. Like, there's not really a reason for it. It just is how it's always happened. Instead of like, we created laws directly to harm Black and brown people, and then other things happened around that. But like, the intent of the law was to keep them in a specific place, right?
Well, I mean,
and so go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, the woman who accused Emmett Till, she only recently passed away.
And only recently was like, I lied.
So
on the deathbed.
I got something to tell you all. You guys are gonna get really mad at me.
You remember that? Remember that guy?
Yeah, that sucks. Spitty N1 Dust. Spitty N1 Dust 01 with the $20, just 1 penny away. Man. You didn't want what? You just didn't want him to sing? You didn't want to hear his voice? What's going on? No. I remember learning about Tulsa Massacre in high school. If JRTC dork. No, I'm just playing. It was delivered as the first time explosives were dropped from planes, not knowing it was because of a racist reaction to Black excellence until years later. That's wild. That is wild.
They hid that
Jared
shit.
Ray has a question for you. $5. Can you give us? Well, you talked about a couple already, but they just want the whole story. They just want all of it.
I can give you.
Give me one more.
I can give you another one. I mean, I think what's interesting just about the research that I did and a lot of the people that I looked up is that like, the impact that they had. That kind of reverberated is a lot bigger than what you would consider, their life being in the moment. So, there was a woman named Marie Van Burton Brown who lived in Jamaica, Queens, and like
Yeah, that's where mom's from.
was kind of, her and her husband like worked weird hours. Like she was a nurse and he was an electrician, and so they kind of were like, man, it feels weird being home late at night. We don't know what might happen, so like we need to figure out a way to get our home secured. And so more or less they invented the first home security system. Like they rigged up
Mhm.
this whole thing that had like cameras and like little slots in the door, and like they can move the camera up and down to see people. There was like a like a video screen so they could see who was at the door. There was an alarm that they could hit to lock the door or call the
Mhm.
police. And it was just that like they just did that for their house, because they were
Wow.
like, well, nobody's going to keep us safe but us. And later that same year, she applied for a patent, and that patent is kind of the basis of the modern security system when you
Oh
think about,
shit.
Ring and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
so like, for her, it was just like, I
Hmm.
I want to be safe and I want my house to be safe. But like, she
Wow.
kind of was the inspiration for, something that we're still using today. So
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that where it's just like that's interesting information to know, but it also goes to show just like the ingenuity, that is
Hmm.
kind of prevalent throughout Black history, because like we gotta do, and like if nobody else is gonna do it, we're gonna do it. We're gonna figure out how to make it work. So
If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be able to tell the Uber Eats guy, leave it at the door. You can leave it right there.
No,
Thanks.
you know what? Man, you just kind of put me on game. So the next time I see one of these little white kids walking in my neighborhood trying to sell me like an alarm system or like some kind of ring camera type,
You let them
type
know.
ish,
Let
I'm gonna
them
be
know.
like, you know what? I get to pull this flex now. I get to be like, I'm gonna lean in the door frame and just be like, you know why you out here, right? Yeah, This is reparations right here. This is good as it's gonna get. You sweating, ain't you? You want to come inside, don't you? You want some of this air conditioning, don't you? Ain't that about a Look, man, look at this cool water I got right here. Mm.
So I tell you what, you tell me why they invented that little thing,
Yeah,
who they got the idea from.
yeah.
Maybe I'll buy one. Oh, you don't know.
Oh,
Of
you don't
course you don't.
know.
All right, better
Oh,
luck
you
next
don't
time.
know. That's crazy. That's
Look,
crazy.
I got a book for you to read.
let me learn. You know what was it? I know Tube's the one's gonna know who I'm talking about. We had a politician here. Yeah, bless her heart. She was kind of going through a crisis, but she used to have a saying that has always stuck with me. You need to get yourself better educated.
Mm,
You need to get yourself better knowledged.
Mm.
mm.
That's what that's what I have to say to those people. We also here actually
Mhm.
speaking of, we actually got one from Tubes One. Says, I was surprised to learn the Big Bang milestone was based on the time police dropped a bomb on the HQ of a Black liberation movement in Philly, and that's look.
They will never let you. Golly,
They're
man.
white supremacy will never beat the charges. Okay, they will.
Yep.
Racist white people will never beat the allegations that they are racist. It just they tell on
There's too many
themselves with what they do.
examples. They see Haiti, they see Cuba, they see France, and they just put them all together. Like, all right, just all the white people just got together. All right, how do we stop this from ever happening again? And and I mean, as much as I want to be the next Che, I talk to people. Look, I'm a democratic socialist. Uh, if we can't do it their way, just move. Because I'll tell you what, you could be Campos out of Puerto Rico and out there saying that we're free, and where's he at? All of them dead.
Yeah.
You
Well, it's
still gotta
interesting
fight.
to
You still gotta fight,
yeah.
but yeah.
Mm.
I mean, my mom is Puerto Rican, and she would tell me about, the Young Lords, because she had people that she
Yes.
knew that
Mhm.
were part of that
Yeah.
group. And, for people
March
who don't
right there
know,
next to Black Panthers. Yes.
Yeah.
next to Black Panthers, but like Young Lords was like they were like a gang.
Mm-hmm.
They were just like a street gang. Like they weren't
Mm-hmm.
like some political, group. They were just kids from a neighborhood who were like things aren't right around here, and like we need to do things to help, our people and kind of protect ourselves.
Right.
And so, when you think about even just that aspect of history where like it'd be very easy to paint them as like, oh, just instigators, or like, these kids were out here like causing trouble and like messing things up. And it's like, no, these were very like kids in the streets. Like they were a literal gang, like not
Mm-hmm.
like,
Right.
just like not in
They
name,
were
but like,
criminals. Right.
yeah. But
Mm.
even they were like, you know what though? Like we could be doing more for the people who live where we live. Like our grandmothers need help, like our
Right.
elders need help, other young people need help. Like how can we do that? And so like that kind of political activation and alignment, I think is, another thing that we're seeing bits of now, but that's one of those things that like they wouldn't want you to know about, because
That's
it's
right.
like we'd like to keep those people in a box
Mm-hmm.
and not discuss them, as opposed
And
to
it makes
like,
sense that it would be them, right? Because
yeah,
if you're talking about pushing against the system, and what do? What do they say? They go, well, you just broke the law, right? And it's like, oh, well, you made the law that way. You said I
yeah,
can't do this. I
Mhm.
was at a demonstration here in Savannah, and they arrested two people for wearing medical masks, right? And they said, oh, you're not allowed to hide your face, and then people are yelling like it's a medical mask, and then well, and then you see in Reddit, if it's the law, if it's the law. So who out there is going to say, fuck the system, fuck the police? Who
Wait.
out there is going to push back against the police? Somebody who don't give a fuck about the law. So you either
Yeah.
already so marginalized, you either so poor, or you're a criminal already. So fuck
Yeah.
you. I'm gonna,
I mean,
Right.
meanwhile, Ice out here like this.
100%.
yeah. I was like, how can they
Yeah.
cover their face and not wear badges?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I just know that, yeah, just kind of like how you said when we kind of had first tapped in. Yeah, this has become more prescient now than probably you ever could have imagined.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the type of story I think that we all need to experience. I think we all could benefit from getting to take for one, take a really cool journey on a story that is doing something different, that's trying to offer something new, but also a story that I feel like is gonna actually educate a lot of us along the way. Can we remind the people again when the FOC is for Ancestral Recall?
FOC is going to be this Monday, which is
Mhm.
July 7th. So again, if you haven't gone to your local shop to let them know, please get down there whenever you have a chance over this holiday weekend. Let them know you're looking for Ancestral Recall. We got two covers. So we got the one cover from my man Adigan, who did the interior art. And then we were blessed by the one and only Kari Randolph, who came through with another beautiful
Ooh.
cover, a variant for us. And so let
I
them know
was,
hey, if you want both,
I was about to say,
I
look,
certainly won't say no to that.
You got them both right
I'm
there?
gonna, yeah, I'm gonna pull these up because y'all need to see this.
Ooh.
Like I said, this is
Ooh,
it's pretty shit, man. It's pretty.
that's clean.
It's pretty.
By the way, literally how I'm trying to get my beard, but this middle
Yep.
part don't want to grow long.
Right? Like
I'm
see?
trying to get it, but man,
And then we got
see, that's clean too.
yeah, I'm about to say this is the Kari Randolph joint right here.
Is
And
that gonna be virgin cover just like that?
I think we'll have the title across it
Title,
when it's all
okay.
said and done. But
but still that
you
is
know, if-
cold.
No, that's
Yeah.
that's dope. That's dope.
That is ice fucking cold. So yeah, y'all look. I don't know who
It's
needs
getting
to
got. It's
yeah,
getting got.
I look, here's the assignment. This is the assignment. You're gonna go to your LCS. I'd say go now, but they're probably closed. Go, depending on where you are, in the morning. Get your ass up. I'm gonna need y'all to go to your LCS, and I'm gonna need y'all to take care of business. I'm gonna need y'all to jump on this ask for it, because look, don't do that shit that I've seen some of y'all come, because some of y'all come crying and singing the blues to me later about it, but how, oh, you were just hoping your shop would have just ordered it just cause. I don't want to hear that shit. Go to the shop, ask them for it, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if there's shops out there that are not ordering Eisner Award-winning comics, you can't leave none to chance.
That's
So I'm telling you right now, go ask for Ancestral Recall. Get you know what? Treat this shit like Air Force Ones. 2 pair. 2 pair. Okay. 2 pair.
Well, I was gonna say, because just looking at the numbers, like, really, if you're looking for work created by independent Black creators, like, there's really not a ton out there. I could probably count on one hand, the amount of creator-owned books by Black creators on the stands right now, and going to be out, for the rest of the year. And so, it's always something that we're like, hopefully it's going to change, and hopefully, there'll be more of it out there, because there's a bazillion publishers, and so there should be a couple of us at each of them, and like sometimes it's like, all right, why don't we get you to do one at all of them?
Right, yeah.
And it's like, that's dope, and I always advocate for, people getting work, but it is kind of a situation where, if these are the kind of books that you want to see, the best way to let publishers know, the best way to let comic book shops know, and other people know, is to buy the book and support the book. The same thing, like when Sinners came out, it was like, if you want more of this kind of movie, go see the movie. Let people
That's
know
right.
that this is what you want to see. And so, if you're looking at this, I remember, many, many, many moons ago, when all you could see in the theater was the Tyler Perry movie. That was the Black movie that you got. You could see Daddy's Girls,
the best representation of Black woman anywhere. You want to learn about Black women? Watch Tyler Perry, right? That's what I heard.
But it was like,
that's what they keep telling me.
But it was like, well, you could either go see the Tyler Perry movie or you don't get a movie. Yeah. And so, and it's like, that's certainly one way to look at it, but it's also like, the more that you support, the kind of art that you want to see, the more that they're like, hey, this gotta make it money. Hey, that Black Panther movie that made like maybe the most money that a Marvel movie has made until that date. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, if you want to see that and to support that and to have that, out in the world, like, the best way to do it is to vote with your money, because that's what they're
right.
going to pay attention to the most. And so, like, we were from a small publisher, Ahoy is great, but they also, are not Marvel, they're not DC, they're not going to be in every local comic book shop. I see somebody asking if they don't have an LCS in the area.
I mean, they're asking for free. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on here.
Well,
Nerd Large and John Stewart asking questions for free. What's going on here? What do you think this is? What do you think?
I'm gonna put y'all on game. I'm gonna put y'all on game on something. This is what I do. This is the place I tell people to go if you do not have an LCS in your area. I want y'all to write this down. You don't have to. I'm actually, you know what? For y'all, I'm actually gonna leave a link to this as well. So what you're gonna do? You are going to go to midtowncomics.com. They ship all over the country.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Matter of fact, I recently, because my LCS did not have any of this cover, and I actually didn't get a chance to get it added to my pull box. I actually just went on the website and got it from them, and I paid for shipping, but like, I didn't pay that much more than what I would have paid if I'd just gone in the shop and gotten it. And it's, we're talking about a physical comic. I got exactly what I wanted, and as a matter of fact, so can you, because as I have it right here, you can see I've got Ancestral Recall #1. This is the Attica Nilhan cover right here. There's also, as I said, the Kari Randolph covers right here. You can pre-order those and they will ship. I don't know exactly like the time frames. I can't really give you that, but when I ordered my stuff, I got it pretty damn quickly. They also already got issues, the different covers for issue 2 up
pre-order
as
right
well.
there.
That actually, J Hero, some of y'all might know, y'all might remember. Friend of the channel, we've had Jay on before. Awesome, just literally is awesome, down to earth motherfucker. Like as down to earth as they come. We got a cover by Jay, and we also got another Kari Randolph joint right here. And like I said, these look cold. These are ice cold. These are ice cold covers. So I mean, just I can't. Like I said, I don't know what else I need to tell you to get y'all on board, but
can people like make suggestions to like GCX? Because I know old heads like us, you know, not everybody's partner lets them have a whole room to themselves and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, some people I know only read digital. Can you like go to GCX and be like, hey,
I can
get
try
this right here? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you.
Oh,
I'm not saying you. Like,
yeah.
Is there like a way for somebody to like suggest like, hey, if you got this, I'm looking for this and da da da. I wonder.
So I know that you can actually put, if I don't know how this would work because this is through Ahoy, so this would probably be more something like I don't know, maybe they would have to. I don't know how that would work, but like I see comics of all types on there, so I mean, I'm sure it could happen, but I think it just have to be a matter of a conversation happening.
Yeah, well, and I know, obviously the digital landscape continues to change where there's some, companies that come and some companies that go. I know the former Comixology people just announced a new, platform. But, it's not my favorite place, but you can always go to Amazon through the Kindle app, and they do have Ahoy Comics on there, so that's another place that if you just want to go check it out, it's the Kindle reader now, it's not the Comixology app reader anymore. So
Right.
it's a little bit different, but it's the same situation where you get it and it goes straight to your whatever device you have it on, and you could check it out there. So
yeah, it wouldn't be my preference personally, but like if you can't get it any other way, then I'm like, look, do what you got to do. That like would I purposefully read it on their Kindle reader? No, God, no, I would not. But if it was the only way I could get it, then I would just suck it up and do it. I would do it because this is what we need. And I guess, you know what, while we're still here, is there anything else you wanted to plug while you were still here?
My podcast, White People Won't Save You. You can check it out wherever you get your podcasts. We've had, early on before we talked about The Matrix. We've got talked about Django before. We talked about Driving Miss Daisy before. We've talked about a lot of white man karate movies before. So we've got the whole spectrum. Not something I want to plug, but just something I want to ask, because I haven't had a chance to really have a conversation with anybody about this yet. We've all seen Drake's fake abs, right? Like we've all witnessed
implants,
this situation.
BB Jizzy,
Is that, I'm just trying to imagine, because I've heard people point this out and it does make sense. That's not functional muscle.
No.
So that's just something that's on your chest that doesn't move, or
so what they are etched abs. So you have like that layer of fat over you, and what they do is they'll literally do like a type of liposuction, but it's the subdermal part, the one that's like sticks to the inside of your veins. So when you scrape away the veins, when you scrape away the fat, the subdermal fat in just the right areas, it looks like a V. It gives you like the illusion of abs, but it's really just it's not at all functional.
Nah,
no. But can he move? Like, can he lean over?
Can he do a crunch? If he does like, what happens if he does like a sit-up?
They let you keep the ab muscles you have there.
Sure,
they don't remove those, so they're.
But it's like kabuki theater. It's the kabuki theater of exercise, of the fitness world.
All I can
It's
think
it,
about is the episode where SpongeBob got the blow up muscles.
that's it.
Yeah,
And
like
That's
he
it. That's it.
put a pin in it.
Yes. You seen the Indian dude or Pakistani dude, whatever he is, he injects the oils.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
has those big bubbly those oh man. Look up
Man.
Indian dude injects oil muscle, something like that. On Google, you'll see these pictures.
Oh man,
And
that
he
that
doesn't
could lead me
even
to so many places.
Yeah, I was about to say that I'm not gonna hold you.
You just
That
put-
shit
put-
sounds
put,
scary as fuck.
put safe search moderate on and you should be good. You should be not strict because he doesn't have a shirt on or something. But
Okay.
You know what? Also, I want to add something in here because I just discovered something, and yeah, I think y'all should do this because, well, for one, I think it would be pretty amazing. I'm gonna leave a link. I'm actually gonna change the link that I have in there because I want y'all to go do this because it's wild to me how on point Midtown Comics is on this. So I want to take y'all back. I'm taking y'all back in the way back machine. So I'm back on the this man. I'm back on the Ancestral Recall #1 page, and like I said, you can pre-order it here. You can get either of the covers. They're literally like right there if you want to go to one versus the other. But the reason why I'm telling y'all to go here as opposed to maybe getting it on like the Kindle app or anything like that is because of this right here. If you just scroll down, you're gonna see this right here. You're gonna see, oh wow, who's that? Who's that? I
know that guy.
Wait a minute. I think I know this. I know this cat. You can pick up other stuff. You can pick up other stuff.
Here's a quick question.
And you get some from Adagun as well. If you're if you're a bad motherfucker like myself, that's what I would do. That's what I would do.
So I'm looking at Ancestral Recall on Ahoy Comics, and they have the link to like find a local shop, and then the other link is buy on Comixology. We hear about digital assets and stuff like that a lot, and how a lot of artists, especially like in music, get screwed over. If you sell copies, using Amazon, does it hurt anything for you? Do you get still paid the same, or?
I imagine, that there is some deal that Amazon has worked out with publishers where, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's akin to say like a Spotify or anything like that. Because I think, the problem for a lot of digital is that because there's not a stable marketplace in the sense of like there used to be Comixology and that was it. You could go there, you could get it, and like that was a good sense of revenue for a lot of people just because it was a one centralized location. And now it's kind of like I imagine like Global Comics and like some of those other places are still similar to how Comixology was run. But then there's other places like you can buy comics off like the Apple bookstore and like other places like that, and I'd imagine they're held to the same standards as any other product that's sold through there, where you get Apple gets a cut, and then the publisher gets a cut, and then the creator probably get whatever is left after that. So probably more direct, if you buy it from a comic book shop or from just another non-Amazon marketplace, or if you see me at a convention, you just buy it straight out of my hand like that. I'm certainly getting that money.
There you go.
But
well,
you
that's
got a website? You got a website for when you like add shit like that? You're like, I'm gonna be at this convention and this and that.
Yeah, I have jclarkcomics.com is my website. It's not been well kept over the last couple of years. But I'm working on that. I will be at San Diego this year for the Ahoy panel. And I will be there for there's another panel happening on Saturday that I'll be a part of. So
for the what panel? What'd you say?
There's an Ahoy panel happening Friday, which is kind of like a upfront panel with me and Matt Bors and Mark Russell. And then there's another panel that I'm doing with a friend on Saturday about balancing creative pursuits while having a day job. So that'll be my San Diego, but I've never been to San Diego before, so I think the rest of that will just be me seeing what this is like. I know it's not quite the same as it was pre-COVID, and that's even just because I mean, once they introduced like D20 and like all this other stuff, like
Right.
Marvel and DC were like, oh, we could just do our own.
Yeah.
And people will come to that. It's not like they don't come through, but like
Right.
I don't know. I think I
it's
heard
still
that
pretty big. Yeah, I heard it's still pretty big though. No.
well, I heard that Marvel isn't going to be at Hall H this year, that they just kind of passed on that because they
Oh.
Yeah,
have
because they do
kept
their own
having
shit.
yeah, well, they also have to like keep pushing because of Secret Wars and all that stuff. Like they're nothing's set in stone quite yet, so they're like, we'll just wait until next year where we have all of that stuff set
Yeah.
up. So I'm sure it will still be crazy. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, it still be
I'm
traffic,
looking forward
and
to
I'm glad
it.
I don't
Yeah.
live there anymore. Yeah.
Well,
Hey,
you
you were
have
lying about your website, by the way.
yeah, it's been a minute.
I'm about to say I have it in
2021,
there.
2018.
Yeah, I'm getting to it.
Look. Well, look, I got Jordan's socials on I got socials linked down there. So like
That's what's up.
yeah,
That's
you know,
what's up. Don't worry about his website, but follow him.
yeah,
I'm
go
active.
go check the IG. Go check the IG. You know, see what's popping. You know, we'll get to the website. We'll get to it.
I'm working on
And I'll we'll need to link up again because like I always tell people I'm the worst about checking my email. So like when because I think there was like a 5 ever ago we were talking about doing the podcast again. For White People Won't Save You, and it just all correspondence just kind of got lost in the sauce for me. So we'll have to do that again because like I said, it's a good time. I highly recommend y'all go check it out.
I wish we could have had you. We did. I don't know if you've ever seen the Sheena movie, like the Sheena motion picture from 1980. Ooh boy, wow. It was an experience. It was not a good idea, but
now I gotta look it up.
Hey, look. So I don't know if you know, but go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it's one of those movies that you're just like, man, they really did this. Like somebody was like, we should make this movie.
There's a lot of those. There's a lot of movies like somebody pitched this and somebody else said, you know what? Here's some money.
Well, it's because it's not even. It's like Sheena in the 1980s. It's like they're not even really making Sheena comics. Like this isn't even like, oh, the revival is here. Like when they made the Phantom, and it was like, oh, like yo, the Phantom, or like Dick Tracy. There's like motion to this. It's like, nah, we just like the idea of this.
These motherfuckers, they really did this shit.
Look,
Can I tell you?
They really did this shit. Oh,
Can I tell you the villain? Just it's not really a spoiler. The villain of this movie.
Wait, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. No, I'm just
Oh
kidding.
no. This isn't going to spoil anything for you. This is more of like to whet the appetite. The villain of this movie is an African NFL kicker who is like a superstar. Like he is like well known.
Like he's an NFL kicker in the movie.
Yes. No, he's in the movie his character is an NFL kicker. But he's also like super famous somehow. And I was like, I live in Baltimore, and so our former kicker, who is no longer with the team, was maybe like the most famous kicker in the NFL. And if you saw him, you couldn't pick him out of a lineup. You know what I mean? If you didn't live in Baltimore, you don't know who that is. So like the fact that this person is not only an African prince, but is also an NFL kicker, but also has plans to destroy a local tribe.
Oh my god!
Wild work.
What is? Yeah, no. Everybody involved with this. They.
It's on Tubi.
Oh, man, dude. You know what? Honestly, unsurprising. Unsurprising. Like that is. They're like, look, man, we want this. We just gonna put this out here for everybody to see.
Look, we always say that Tubi provides because for stuff like this, I would not want to pay for it.
No,
but I will watch it. So if it is free to view, I will sit down and look at it.
When it comes to entertainment, Tubi giveth.
Yes.
and to be taketh away. So,
Yeah.
It really,
you know,
it really do. It really do. Well, I'll just say, Jordan, thank you so much.
yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. And I'm telling y'all again, go to your shop, ask for Ancestral Recall. If you don't have a shop to go to the website. I've actually updated the description for the live stream. I have given you multiple ways to get a hold of this stuff. Go if
Make
you,
it happen.
you just go do the thing. Go do the thing. Go listen. Go listen to White People Won't Save You. You know, just go to Instagram. Follow Jordan there. Matter of fact, the handle is literally like right above him, so you know, you can also see it there as well. So you can go, yeah, just like I'm trying to make this like stupid easy, for
Found
everybody.
it.
It's like it's up there somewhere. I don't know. It's somewhere up there. I don't know. That's how it always is for me. I'm always like, ooh, click the video up here. I don't know. Oh, wrong hand. Yeah, is what it is. But no. You just yeah, go do all that stuff. And Jordan, I'm gonna keep in touch with you because I also want to pick your brain about some stuff.
Absolutely.
You know, and also so we can try and figure out a situation where we could make that podcast re-up
Absolutely.
happen. So but we're gonna y'all sit tight, please. Please sit tight. I'm gonna put up a little BRB screen, and we will be right back. All right, we back. Well, I'm back. I'm waiting for Robo's camera to come back up. Oh, there he is. The lies I've told. The lies I've told. He's here. He's here. There's a place. He's here to do things. So we are back. And yeah, I got nothing. No, not
that was
really.
good. That was good. We're definitely gonna get that. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do?
What you gonna do?
I'm gonna go to nah. We gotta be good. I'm gonna hit up my local comic book store first. See if he's gonna pre-order it. Gotta hook up the local stores.
Yeah.
If the local store's not gonna grab it, I'll hit up Midtown Comics.
Okay, there you go. That's my.
Yeah.
I guess I can share this because I talked about it on Threads, but I know not everybody follows me on there. Real quick, and then we'll move on.
Which is a mistake. I don't understand. How's that fucking work?
I don't know. I don't know what y'all be out here doing. But your boy.
Yeah.
Your boy got his first quote.
Yeah. Shout out. Ernie's out here being somebody.
Right? Like, wait.
How you like me now, Dad?
Now what you gonna do? What you gonna do now? But no.
You got a second grade teacher out there? You said I wasn't be shit? Look at me.
Now what you gonna do? Nah, it's crazy. I don't make up the rules. I don't make up the rules here, but it just kind of is what it is on that front. But no, I got quoted for my thoughts on this comic. Feral. This is issue 13. If some of y'all who might already be collecting the series, you've probably already seen it before I could tell you anything about it. But if you look on the back of the cover, look whose name is on it.
That's pretty sick. That's pretty dope.
So yeah, I got.
And they didn't even hit you up. It was just like
it just
just snatched that out of the internet and threw that on there.
Yep. And I actually
That's dope.
I think what it was, I think it was actually from when I talked about it when I did the review of Stray Dogs. I think because I do distinctly remember this. Well, to be fair, I say this a lot of times when people ask me about this book, but I always say, yeah, imagine a zombie apocalypse from a cat's perspective. Pretty wild
That's
stuff.
right.
Highly recommend. That's usually what I say every time.
I remember it clearly because you made me edit it.
Yeah.
And I fucking cried my ass off on a comic book that has art like fucking 101 Dalmatians or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Some fucking Lady in the Tramp shit.
Yeah, Lady in the Tramp. And I'm over here like, oh shit, he shot him.
Oh god.
He shot him. Oh, okay. I need a break.
Well, you know what's crazy? It just so happened they put this quote on what has so far become my favorite issue of the series. Like this was already my favorite issue. Like I didn't know that they had put it wasn't until I got to the end of it where I was like, oh shit. But yeah, this is
John Stewart, you ain't shit. I see you. I'm not gonna ignore that. You ain't shit.
Look,
I don't look 60. I look like 58 at least.
58 minimum. Well, what's crazy is this is the this is the issue where they break into the PetSmart. It's not called Pet. I don't think it's actually called PetSmart.
Whatever it is, it's a PetSmart. The mega store. Yeah.
Like it's almost like an episode of Walking Dead. Because, basically, they're trying to figure out, the cats are trying to figure out how to find a place to finally be safe. And the cat that's featured on here, Lucky, he's like, hey, there's this place over here. And it's like all the food we could eat, all the water we could drink, all that shit. But it's surrounded by dozens upon dozens and dozens of animals that all have rabies. And they basically have to try and figure out a way. Also, the Lucky is kind of like Michonne.
Okay.
Lucky's like the Michonne of the series because the dog is his friend.
Has rabies.
Yeah, well,
No.
The dog doesn't have rabies, but the dog is it's kind of almost like the dog is really friendly to cats because
Okay, so
of
that's
Lucky.
just drool.
Yeah, it's just drool. Yeah, the dog is
okay, I thought you
friendly.
meant like, you know how Michelle had
Oh,
those two
yeah.
pet zombies. Yeah.
no, but like it's close. It's close. But no, like
Yeah, I feel you.
But yeah, like I just thought it was awesome. Like, oh, because he's like he's so sweet. He's so sweet. But no, this was really good because like the cats are trying to get into the PetSmart, and there's different reasons for why the plan could possibly go wrong. One of the cats is declawed. Three of the cats,
so fucked up.
dude, and that shit comes back to haunt him multiple times.
Damn, that's fucked.
And then
I don't know if everybody knows.
Yeah.
Let me just ruin your day real quick.
Yeah.
If your mother or your grandmother ever declawed cats, I need you to understand what's actually happening.
Right.
Don't think it's like you. It's not pulling off their nails. The claws are part of the bone structure of their finger.
Mm-hmm.
They're chopping off the ends of their fingers to declaw them.
Mm-hmm. Like imagine you just said, yeah, you just went, all right, cool, we're gonna declaw you, so we're gonna go here, swoop, cut that off, cut that off, cut that off, cut that off, done. Yes,
that is so fucked. When I learned about that, I was already kind of like, oh man, that's fucked up. Like, just clip their nails. Like, why are you pulling out their nails for it? But then when I heard what actually is happening, I'm like, I will fucking fight you if you tell me you declaw your cats. Like, you deserve to be dextered.
So when we were gonna have a cat, like this is some years ago, and it was crazy because like I can't, like, that was the moment I learned about this. Like when we got Ozzy from the shelter, he still had his claws, and he was just like tearing up everything. And I remember like suggesting it because I was like, oh, because I didn't know. I just thought, oh yeah, I was kind of like what you just said. I was like, oh, they just just cutting the nail off, yeah. Right. And then when like Cynthia explained it to me, I was like, I said, or we could just try and make sure we keep his nails clipped.
Yeah. They got these little rubber caps. And then
that was actually what we did at first. Yeah, that's actually what we did at first.
And they fall off or whatever because but they last, so then when they fall off, you go replace them. They're super cheap. Someone said that's like shaving your child's head when you don't want to cut their hair anymore. No, that's like remove like scalping your child
off.
Yeah, like, hey, you know what? How about we just take the skin off the top of your head? You don't gotta worry about haircuts anymore.
Right. Well, dude, and I actually saw this on Threads the other day. There was this lady that like posted this video bragging about how this little child, like a girl that was like not even, I don't think the child was even a whole year old. Yeah. Maybe two at best. Like we're talking at best 2 years old, and basically they were blowing the kid's hair out and perming it and all this other bullshit. And then like the person who posted video was like, oh, see, look, they're taking it like a woman, and like that post got dunked all over. Like, but people were eating her ass up.
Yeah,
and like because there was so many people like and myself included, we're just all like, why does this child need this?
That's it right there.
Like what? Who is this for?
That's right. It's for the parent.
Yeah,
it's the kind of people that shouldn't have kids in the first place. Mm-hmm. Like that's what needs to be. Whenever King Robo, the new socialist dictator, gets in charge, there's gonna be a psyche eval and a questionnaire. Why do you want to have kids?
Right.
If you put in there, it's because you want to be fulfilled, because you want to be a mother, because you have this desire. You will not be allowed. You will not give the permit to have a child.
No.
Your uterus will stay in the vault.
Not the vault.
You better want to have a kid because you want to take care of a kid.
Yes.
Because you know what I mean? Not because for yourself. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck about you.
Right. No, I don't. I like I said, I'm at a point in my life right now where, I can't. I can't deal with that shit.
Mm-hmm.
When people tell me shit like that and sound proud of it, I just look at them like they're fucking crazy.
100%.
Now, that said, I do want to point out that yeah, we did. I know some people are probably curious, you know, were we gonna talk about the whole thing going on with Ironheart.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk about it briefly because I kind of talked about it ad nauseum yesterday.
Oh, that's right, because you did the watch party. That's right. Yep.
Yep, did the watch part, which I mean was great. It was a good time. Yeah, it's not to make it sound like I didn't have a good time. I had a great fucking time, but
I mean, if you want to make this a short one too, I'm gonna tell you what, Love Island is on, and my wife would really appreciate it if I left early. So we don't have to be on here very long, you know?
No. Well, like I said, yeah. Well, also too, man. So on top of doing the watch party, because we did it on Wednesday, I think what we're gonna do in the future, I'm gonna try and lobby to do them the day of, because I think. For me, like Wednesday's my busiest day of the week. So I think in the time that like when I spoke to you yesterday, I shot 3 videos. I've edited one of them to completion, and I'm still working on the other 2 just cause. Oh no, lies. The lies I have told you. Cause no, I gave you one. So you have one of my videos. So cause I actually no, I shot the Ironheart one, I think, or yeah, it was like the day before. But like
actually, I have a lot of fun. I don't know why. I'm having fun editing that one. Like I'm actually like doing for real editing. When I say for real editing, I'm like I'll listen, because like this one I could tell is like you're more like just you're it's coming from your heart, you know what I mean?
Right,
not just like let me talk about this comic book that has a linear progress to it. And I'll be like, nah, I don't. I'm gonna put that one over here.
Yeah,
put this here. And then okay, now it flows good. Like, I'm having fun. I'm like, I'm a real life editor.
Yeah,
I'm a big boy.
I'm doing stuff. I'm doing things.
Y'all gonna like this one. Y'all gonna like this one.
Oh yeah.
Why? What was it that? Why? The real reason why they hate Ironheart.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
Well, because it all was and honestly, a lot of it was inspired by y'all. In the chat, talking to y'all on threads, talking to y'all on Discord, seeing some of the stuff that y'all were talking about. And I legit just kind of sat there and was like, you know what? Let's talk about this shit.
Right.
Let's actually let's step into the bullpen. Let's step into the bullpen real quick. And
let's stop fucking around.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think y'all are gonna love it. I think y'all are gonna really love it, because there's some points and some things I've said openly. We've spoken about on here. I've talked about on threads, but there's at least a couple of insights that I added in that video that I haven't seen anybody bring up. Not like that I can't tell. But yes. Oh, we did hear about Diddy.
If he doesn't get at least the 10 years, then
then it's hoed. This whole system's hoed.
I just want to say, I did call it. Because ever since the beginning, when I saw they were trying to go RICO on human trafficking, I've been following this case, and I said, that's where it's gonna go wrong. Like it's how fucking Casey Anthony got away with shit. Whenever it's how O.J. Simpson got away with it. Whenever you go the max, like I'm trying to get death penalty, murder one, like go like the whole thing. I'm like, is your case strong enough for that? Because people aren't trying to put away. If you're on the jury, you're talking about putting somebody away for life. You know what I mean? And look, why did you do RICO? Why did you how about the shit that you could prove, like beating the fuck out of people, you know what I mean? Abuse, rape, shit like that. No, they went human. It wasn't even about rape. The rape was not the charges. It was human trafficking RICO. So needing a criminal organization, and then the motherfucker's gonna get away with it. Kind of.
So is this a thesis on how the Ironheart show is Iron Man 3 done right? Not entirely, but I will say I do have.
It's not that.
It's not that, and I do. And you know what? I think I'm gonna make myself be a real YouTuber, and what I mean by that is I think I am going to start doing, I've talked about this before about doing like more like video essay style things. I actually am kind of, and this is kind of where I think, I'm trying to find a happy medium. I'm trying to find a really nice happy medium in here where, because I've been listening to y'all, like, I've been rather paying attention to the way the algorithm is working, because like, I know for a fact I don't have to go as hard in the paint for some of the content that gets put up, because I literally threw a video up that I slapped together in under like an hour and a half, and y'all ate that shit up. Like, that shit did like the video.
Isn't that always the way though?
Yeah. Well,
it's like
it was hilarious to me because like I want to show y'all like just real quick. This is me just, I just love like kind of pointing this shit out because it's just so fucking funny to me. But like right here, this video, the best comics this week from last week, that was like 4 or 5 hours of like or actually longer. It was actually probably close to like 6 or 7. I actually put in like, for those, I ended up putting like total time reading the comics, picking the ones that are going to be on the thing, recording the stuff, editing the stuff, making sure everything's together, finding stuff for the segments and things of that nature. Yeah, that's like an 8-hour work day. This was like 2 hours of my day, and we see the results. So
every time I really do blame YouTube, because I cannot imagine fans of Blerd Without Fear, like actual fans of the 100,000 subscribers. They say, boom, here's one of the comic books. Boom, here's another comic book. Boom, best comic books of the week. Nah, fuck that shit. I ain't watching that.
Good. I'm good. I don't need.
That's Google. That's that's YouTube hoeing you.
Yes, 100%.
Something in that thing is like, they're like, nah, we're not showing them that.
Yeah, like, you know what? Like interviews and shit, I'm totally used to that. Like it doesn't even phase me.
That makes sense.
It doesn't even phase me
because you know why?
anymore.
Motherfuckers are doing that.
Right.
Like, I'm not watching all that.
Oh yeah, they were like, I'm good. And here's the sadder part is that like sometimes I even try and go out of my way to like, I didn't do it for this last one because we were all over the place. But like I remember like, going through trying to make like chapters so people can kind of jump around to the shit that, might interest them or whatever. And it doesn't change anything. And honestly, I think the only reason why these interviews I had been doing with Joe Casey about the different Weapon X-Men titles, I think those only did well because it was X-Men related. And that's it. They did. And even then, it's like
YouTube pushes them out. They're like, yep,
they're like, here we go.
I'm going to show people this one.
Oh yeah. They're like, no, this is the way. Like, dude, I'm still sitting here baffled at the fact that like, a Captain Planet video is still like my number one video right now. Like what is this?
Nostalgia,
what is this? Dude.
It's nostalgia. It's because your age bracket is us, right?
Yeah,
35 to 45 or whatever it is. And Captain Planet's like, oh shit, a Captain Planet? Like, is this gonna be a dark, gritty Captain Planet? Of course they're gonna click that shit.
Oh yeah. It's like we'll see just here. We about to get a Blerd E-Signifier. I mean, look, it would only be fair. It would only be fair. So.
All I'm saying is FD. You're out there talking about that the folks saying they're gonna stay home weren't out there in the first place. Who said that? Me. I said that last week. If you're gonna quote me, at least say Nerds of Culture. Like, shout out the show. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying. Well, and you know what? I think what I'm actually gonna start doing is well, for one, I do blame myself for some of this because I'm schizophrenic as fuck when it comes to how I do my thumbnails. So there are sometimes people probably see a video and just like, that's not how Blerd usually does his thumbnails. So yeah. But at the same time, I mean, honestly, the only, I don't know, I'm figuring this out. Maybe I need to just reevaluate how I do shit, because like I said, when I made that fucking power lift video, it's not that I didn't enjoy what I was doing, but I mean, I did not put like as much like heart and soul into the editing that video as I do. That's actually why y'all have not gotten best comics this week, because I'm like, well, shit, y'all motherfuckers. I was like, it's a lot of shit, so I'm just gonna save it for last. But no, I guess speaking of saving,
try. Hey, I got an idea for you.
What you got?
Since you know your age bracket,
yeah,
and we are suckers for nostalgia. I guess a meme now. You know, what I mean, I'm not technically millennial. I'm a baby Gen Xer, but millennials is a meme. Like millennials is like nostalgia is like crack cocaine.
Oh, it is.
Crack rock.
Black tar heroin.
Black tar heroin. So maybe that's what you should do. Maybe you should be like find some nostalgic shit. You know what I mean? And you kind of do that already with you did that with the Transformers, you did it with the Captain Planet. But I don't know, maybe there's something to that.
I think, like I said, the times they are changing, and I'm starting to recognize what people probably would prefer to see. Like, honestly, if it were midnight in a perfect world for me, I would love to talk about every comic that I read and put y'all on game about all these amazing books that y'all probably don't even know exist. Because there was a book that I read this week that I don't think many people picked up. That I think is easily one of the best things I fucking read all week. But like, if I did a video about just that, nobody would watch it. And that's there was a book that came out this week called Illuminati, which is by Brian Edward Hill and Dennis Cowan. It's actually through AWA Upshot, but it's also produced by oddly enough Charlemagne the God. And I even said when I was recording Best Comics this week that I was like, yeah, I almost didn't read this shit, because I was like, I saw Charlemagne the God presents Illuminati, and I was just like,
but it was dope though.
It was dope. Like, it was legitimately good, and he didn't write it. So I was like, okay. I was like, but
he just threw money at it. It's okay.
Yeah. And you know what? Honestly, if you're gonna throw money at some shit, throw some money at that. But
that's right.
But when I first saw that shit, I mean, I was like, but then I read it, and I was like, this is good. I was like, this is damn good. This is.
Hey, turn those on for me. So I want to hear.
Oh, he's he's like, wait a minute.
I want to play.
He's like, what about me? What about me? Actually, you know what? I think I know why. Because, you know what? Because I changed. So here, I'm gonna teach y'all something. So your boy recently did a charity. Well, I tried to do a charity stream, but like there were severe thunderstorms in my area. So so basically what wound up happening was my internet and my power kept going out.
Oh wow.
So it was pretty fucking sad. But so I changed, because we were doing this through Discord. Like, it was me and Comic Drake and Rob from Comics Explained, a bunch of other people, Linkara and some others. We were all in a Discord call playing Among Us. And I had to change my stuff because I was like, oh shit. I was like, y'all can hear my game.
Right.
So I was like, ooh, let me change all this so y'all don't have to hear it. I could have just changed it in the app, but for whatever reason, I just didn't.
Yes, like Charlemagne the God from the Breakfast Club.
Yes, yeah. Charlemagne the God. He, which I mean, once again, like I just Charlemagne the God is one of the most inconsistent people I've ever like laid witness to, because like in the same breath that I've seen this man like basically shit on people who are actually trying to do nice things, I literally see him turn around and hang out or also at the same time trying to like put people on game about shit that actually is really important, and then also turn around and be hanging out with Andrew Schultz of all people.
Right.
So
you know
just
what
like,
it is? it's people who don't. Whenever we see shit like that, I really do believe it's because people are not used to having consistent moral frameworks.
Man.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, people don't really think about that shit. Like, I talk about this shit all the time, and it's like, no, it's not okay to sit there and be near tears talking about Gaza, saying it's a genocide, wondering what the fuck we're doing, and then a week later be on fucking on Twitter posting a picture of you shaking hands with Trump, smiling. Like, no, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
No.
Fuck you. You know, and people out there like, what? Like, I can't have opinions. I have to just think just like you. It's not about that. It's about you don't know how to be like you. It's just very frustrating.
You just reminded me of sometimes like videos pop up on your feed, but it's like old shit from like 5 ever ago. I saw this old video from Hassan Piker. It was like 5-year-old video that remember that show where like they put the people in the box and then try and make them figure out who was like the secret whatever.
Admirer?
No. Like we got this many group of people. All of you are this, but one of you is secretly the polar opposite.
The cop or the conservative or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
That was what they were doing. They were doing one of those, and like there was a Republican that was amongst the people that were Democrats, and Hassan picked the motherfucker out of a crowd. Like, this was like a video that ran, like, I'm sure the live stream was longer, but the video itself that was just like everything distilled down was like, I think maybe 15, 20 minutes, something like that. Maybe longer. But he picked the motherfucker out as soon as he saw him.
Who was it? Was the cop?
No. This was like the secret conservative. And basically, he pointed out something that she said. Because, like, he looked at, like, 2 or 3 different people and was like, it might be him. Might be this guy. Because one of the people he pointed out first was a black guy. He said, this guy, he said, I could kind of see it be this guy, but I'm going to say it's not him because his drip is too good. He said, black Republicans don't be dripped out like that. So he said, so there was this biracial woman. She was like, I think she said she was half black, half Mexican. And when she opened her mouth, the first words out of her mouth were, I don't really like people telling me what to do. And he said, it's her. And everybody's like, what? And then, like, she kept talking, and she was like, yeah, I don't like people telling me who I'm supposed to vote for, yada, yada. He was like, that's it.
Easy.
He was like, that's it. He was like, that's the one. And then, sure as shit, I didn't even want, like, when he said that, I was like, nah, I want to see if he's right. Because he said, I said, his logic is sound. His logic is, I was like, it's kind of playing in the stereotypes, but those stereotypes do exist for a reason. And I says, because it's usually, because that was also the other thing he said too. He was like talking about the guy, who he thought was a Republican who was black. He was like, oh, yeah. And he was like, you also got to look at his hair. Like, he's got a good hairline. He looks like he actually goes to a barber. It's like, usually black Republicans, their hair is always, like, jacked up. So, like, and old girl, if you looked at her hair, it was like, ooh, like, your hair's not bad, but we can tell that, like, you ain't letting no black woman touch your head. You ain't letting a black woman touch your head. You got some Candace Owens, almost some Candace Owens shit going on.
They're getting sneaky, though.
Oh, yeah.
They're getting, I tell you what, the Republicans are starting to get smart, and you're starting to see some really clean fades, really like natural hair. I saw natural hair one time, and I'm like big and beautiful, talking about Trump is gonna save us. And I'm like, dude, look at you motherfuckers, guys are catching on.
It messed my day up the other day when one of a comedian who I follow, who I think is legitimately funny. Because I was going down the rabbit hole of watching all her comedy clips, YouTube started recommending me, other stuff that, she had done that wasn't comedy related. And sure as shit, I saw a fucking interview she did with Jesse Lee Peterson. And I was thinking, like, because, sometimes
some bullshit probably.
And you know what? I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt. Because I have seen people go on Jesse Lee Peterson's show and, like, they're not, like, friendly with him.
Right.
Like
Of
they
course.
like because there was
yeah.
a guy recently I just saw that was on his show.
Hassan's been
and-
on there.
Yeah, Sans. Well, in this,
Right.
I saw there was a brother that went on there not long ago, and he lit Jesse up. Like he was tearing that motherfucker a new. And Jesse, you know, Jesse, because he's so like, he had no clue what was going on. He was like, "Oh, what do you mean?" Oh, I don't know. But like, I was like, "Yeah," I was like, "Dude, cook his shit." And sure enough,
Absolutely.
I was like, you know what? Let me just skim the video a little bit. So I'm not watch the whole thing, but I'm just kind of skim it. Dude, in no less than 5 minutes into the video, this motherfucker was like basically saying all of the anti-feminist, like anti-black woman, like feminist movement shit. Basically, like, oh, we need to go back to like we need to be protected, and we you know, men are stronger than women. There's things that men can do that women can't do. And women need to be women, and men need to be men. And I was like, oh god! I was like, what? I was like, why did I do that? I said, you know what? I wish I could go back in time and not seen that interview
and just not know.
And just not know, because it's better for all of us. But I'm gonna tell you what is.
I'm gonna admit something to you real quick, because I know you're about to segue. But I'm gonna admit to you right now, I liked Just Hilarious. I've been following Just Hilarious for years. For years. And all the shit about like, you know, B word isn't funny anyway, and I'm like, I thought she was funny. I've been following her for years. And when she came out, I'm like, gross. Click, unfollow. But that's a sad one for me. I liked her.
Yeah. I mean, I used to. Like, I'm not going to hold you. I mean, at one point in time, you know, she was funny to me. But, like, I
definitely
noticed.
fell off.
Yeah, no, like, and I'm talking about, like, when she, like, first started popping off, I was like, okay, yeah. I was like, she's kind of funny. She's slick funny. But then, like, she started, like, beefing with other people that, like, I was familiar with, too. And then I started seeing that it was like...
That pick-me energy?
Yeah. It was also, like, watching two prize fighters in the ring. Like, you've seen these fighters fight other people, and every fighter looks like a badass when their schedule's weak. You know, the schedule is weak. It is like, and it was one of those things where, like, I was like, ooh, you weren't really good. You just were good because, like, you kind of stayed in this
Facebook.
Yeah,
she was a Facebook skit person. Like, you didn't go on. Yeah.
Like,
I feel you.
Any motherfucker could be funny when everybody on Facebook ain't particularly funny.
Right.
But it's but like then she started fucking with folks that were like on Instagram and like, you know, and doing like TikToks and shit, and like motherfuckers were like dyed in the wool fucking skit makers and shit. And I was like, ooh, this shit ain't.
Not a good look, homie. Not a good look.
Nah, I'm good. Look, but no, but real talk though. I'll just say this. For those who are wondering, if for whatever reason you missed the live stream yesterday that I had with Jamie Broadnax of Black Girl Nerds, Megan of the Vigilante Vibes podcast. Go check it out. I mean, we were just kind of sitting, you know, shooting the shit. It was like honestly, you could kind of think of what we were doing as like a DVD commentary track, but maybe a little less focused, because we were kind of just talking about a little bit of everything.
What, like Mystery Science Theater shit?
Yeah, kind of like we were watching, like we weren't showing the show. We were just kind of like talking while it was on, and you know, you're kind of watching along with us. So like we were basically just kind of giving our thoughts on various different things. I'm actually considering doing that more often for a lot of stuff, because it's really fun and it doesn't take a lot of effort on my part. Especially when I found a StreamYard alternative that we might start using more.
No shit.
Yeah, because
better than this, like better than just running our own shit like this.
Not better, but like it's just easier. Like I definitely want to use it. I actually almost used it today for the interview, but I was like, nah, I still kind of want to have my shit. But like I noticed that, like, you know, when I'm doing interviews and stuff, it's what I'm primarily going to use it for. But like I was like, yeah, I just kind of want to have something that I can just, you know, I can rely on, and it just is easy. I don't have to fuck with anything. I can just jump the fuck in. But basically, you know, we talked about it. We talked about Ironheart, the finale. And you know what? I actually, until maybe a little bit ago, because I kind of said my piece on Threads, so I don't really have much else to say about this, but I kind of kept up with a lot of the reviews that people were putting up. Most of them I thought were good, obviously outside of the usual suspects we talked about. But I'm going to tell you
the
one
peanut gallery,
yeah, I'm going to tell you a motherfucker that disappointed the shit out of me this week.
What's that?
John Campea.
Really?
John Campea disappointed the fuck out your boy this week. And I'm gonna tell you why.
I like him.
Yeah, I used to. Not no more. Not no more.
What was she too black again? Was black people being happy bothering him?
I guess I honestly don't know what the fuck was going on, but I put this up on Threads. Y'all let's see if I can. Yeah, here we go. I put this up on Threads, and I just said, man, look, I need all white media reviewers to understand. Just because your majority white circle is only talking about Mephisto, maybe take a moment to listen in on what Ironheart's target audience, black and brown people, are talking about. Because we're not just talking about Mephisto. We've been talking about the whole fucking show. Is Mephisto part of our conversation? Sure, but we're also talking about Riri, Natalie, Zelma, The Hood, Clown, Slug, Ronnie, Gary. Broaden your horizons. And this is why I did it, because I saw this video, and I watched the whole thing, so I don't want anybody trying to tell me I took this motherfucker out of context. No, I took this motherfucker with context. But he literally, like, he actually changed the thumbnail. He changed the thumbnail because he got cooked in the comments for it. Because he literally posted with he still has the spoiler title and the spoiler in the thumbnail, but like he literally had, I think at one point had Mephisto in the thumbnail. But yeah, basically he was trying to say that, Ironheart finishes at 6 episodes, but people are only talking about Mephisto. And I was like, okay, I don't know who. I was like, who are you talking? I was like, who are you talking to? Like who?
Yeah. What? I mean, they're talking about him now. You know what I mean? But not only him. We've been talking about the Sue. We've been talking about the friend. We've been talking about the definitely Anthony Ramos. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? The Hood has been like, it's been the Hood and old girl Ironheart.
Yeah,
99% of the time. Like, what is he talking about?
Dude, I see motherfuckers talking about Zelma more than I see talking about fucking Mephisto. But right here,
which I did like to see. That was dope.
No, that was fucking amazing. And like he also did this shit right here where like, Ironheart concludes with little fanfare. Mephisto is the only thing people are talking about. And I was just like, bruh, what are we doing? I was like, what are we doing? I was like, who is this for? Like I'm legitimately trying to figure out, who are you doing this for?
Right.
Okay, what? Like who hurt you? Who hurt you?
This is literally the definition of tone deaf.
Oh, 100%.
Right? And by the way,
100%.
That's me being charitable.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to choose to be charitable. Like, for example, the Methrotic is not tone deaf.
No, he's
right.
Racist.
To be tone deaf means you're being problematic, racist, whatever, and you don't even realize it, right? That's tone deaf. Methrotic's just a fucking racist. He's a fucking piece of shit, right? Who needs to be hit by a truck by somebody else, not me, not any of y'all. Just, I hope, incidentally, by accident. But this dude will be charitable and say tone deaf. Like, bro, why do you think that a black show with a black hero, with black and brown cast, with black directors and black and a black showrunner, what writers? What makes you think that everybody's talking about the one white Jewish dude? You know what I mean? Like, why would everybody be talking about that?
Talking about the Zionist?
Yeah. Like, why do you think that? Maybe because you're white, nobody else gives a fuck about all the shit that has representation about it, and that's all they care about. And you can't even see that your world is so fucking white.
Yes.
That, you know what I mean? And it's sad. It's really sad. I don't even know how to fix something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, it's messed up because when I was looking at the show, watching it and absorbing it, I mean, yeah, I saw people talking about Mephisto. I mean, duh. I mean,
Right.
Mephisto is only like the worst kept secret in the MCU ever. And like even worse than Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire being in Spider-Man No Way Home.
Right.
Yeah, even worse than that. And not to mention,
I loved them in WandaVision, personally.
yeah, I mean, right. So like the thing is, like we've literally, and not to mention, he's been teased for as long as WandaVision in the MCU. So I mean, yeah, of course people are talking about this guy. But the thing is, you literally just told me that you don't pay attention to like you're speaking declaratively as though you have your finger on the pulse of all movie going, TV going, and nerddom. Because let's be clear, he has built a platform off of not just talking about just regular movies. He's built a pretty large platform off of talking about comic book movies. And I'm not gonna lie, for a guy that does that, he doesn't seem particularly knowledgeable about comics. Like he seems to be surface level at bit. Like I honestly feel like my wife knows more about comic book movies than he does, and she could not give a shit less about reading a comic book. So
Yeah.
But I just want to kind of pull this back up. But like this shit right here, talking about how Mephisto is the only, like, because I saw someone tried to correct me and say that, oh no, he's just talking about how Disney didn't market the show. No. What does that say right there? Mephisto is the only thing that people are talking about. Who is people?
Now you watched it. You
Right.
watched it. What is he? Does he give an opinion about the show in general?
He does. So basically, let me put it like this. John Campea said, and I don't give a fuck what he feels about the show. So I just want people to understand. I'm not going to criticize how he feels about the show. He said that he didn't like the show. He actually shit on the show before it even came out. When the trailer finally came out, he shit on it some more. And then when the show finally came out, he talked about how the first 3 episodes were boring. And he honestly just but he did say it wasn't as bad as Secret Invasion. That was his bar for dictating whether or not this was the worst thing he'd ever seen, is that he said it wasn't Secret Invasion bad, but he still didn't think it was good. And he even used the word trash when describing it. Now, when the last 3 episodes came out, he even went as far as to say he almost didn't watch the final 3 episodes because he didn't like the first 3. And that it was too, and that's honestly what I think it was. But like,
Look,
he also,
I'm not afraid to say it. I don't give a fuck. They get hurt all they want. They hate being called raisins.
Yeah.
I can't believe you said it. No, fuck you. Like, bro, the only reason you could be a Marvel fan and not like this show, that it has fucking dope ass CGI, a dope ass fucking AI, dope ass fucking robot flying around. We get Mephisto at the end. We have fucking magic fucking guns and bullets, and the only reason why is because it's too black or has too many queer characters. Pick one. You know what I mean? Or both.
Yeah.
You know?
No, 100%. Now, I will say, when he got to the end of his review, he did talk about how he didn't like the show overall, but he liked the ending of it. Okay, whatever. And he said,
finally, somebody who's not black or queer.
Like,
God.
He talked about how he thought the ending was gutsy and ballsy and all this other shit. And which, I mean, whatever, that's whatever. But like, when he was actually talking about the show itself, I couldn't help but feel like he just didn't like it because of the subject matter. Because like, he did praise some people in the cast for, their parts, but he kind of, in a lot of ways, wasn't saying anything too terribly different from what Nerdrotic was complaining about. Because there was there was one point where he hyper obsessed over how Riri built the new suit. Like, oh, she built it in under a day, and she built it out of a car, and then they made this one guy a cyborg, and like no time, like he focused on stuff that's like, dude, did you forget you're watching a fucking comic book movie, or I mean, a comic book TV show? I mean, did you realize you were watching something that's literally based on comics? People do this shit all the fucking time. Like it was like the stuff that it was like literally he hyper fixated on the one thing, and it's all he really talked about for the majority of his review, and also kept going back to it at times. But for me, the whole idea here is that when you have the balls to say that, oh, it concludes with little fanfare, Mephisto is the only thing people are talking about, you have immediately told me without telling me that you don't keep up with like people who aren't white. And now before anyone tries to say, oh no, he can't be a racist, his wife is Asian. That
Who
don't
gives
mean
a
shit.
fuck? Actually, what?
I was like, that doesn't even mean shit.
I thought you were gonna say black. That still would have mean shit. By the way,
no. But
still would have mean shit. But Asian, like,
yes, it's like, dude. And I'll give her this. I'll give her this. She's a darker skinned Asian woman as well. But
look,
at the
you
same
could be
time,
anti-black and Asian. That's just all that y'all know. That I don't gotta tell y'all that.
100%. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care. Like, because I saw people trying to like make excuses for him and say, well, he's kind of a lib and he's a very left leaning guy. I was like, dude, Dr. Martin Luther
leaning. Fuck that. Fall.
Yeah,
I don't even care about leaning anymore.
Look, look. I want you to lean on that shit so hard the fucking chair breaks out from up under you. Like,
he shouldn't be able to. I want to see a Michael Jackson moonwalker. Smooth criminal lean.
Yes,
if that's not the lean you're talking about,
yes,
then I don't want to see it, because you know why?
Yeah.
Because we're already in the United States.
Floor. Right.
We're already in the United States. That fucking middle ground, that center bar is already to the right compared to the rest of the world. So if you tell me you lean left, okay, great. You're a conservative who doesn't mind gay marriage or some shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, get the fuck out of my face.
Dude, like this, like right here. Like I said, you can love that person, but be racist towards everyone else. And that was what I kept trying to tell people, was that like, I feel like he is the very thing that Dr. Martin Luther King used to warn us about like the white moderate and the white liberal, how they're going to do the absolute bare minimum just to give the appearance of solidarity, but not actually have solidarity. And not to mention, I've also seen where he has been very dismissive of other things that are black-centric. So, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm saying this is a guy that used to be a fan of his. He literally came to the Blerd Cave one day and like donated a bunch of money and shit. And I can still sit here and say that fuck him. Because because to me, even if you look at his comments, it was like, ooh, man, this
it's not getting cleaned up.
Nah,
you know what I mean?
You got some neurotic motherfuckers in your chat, and I mean, it kind of seems like you're co-signing, bruh.
Yes.
But no,
he knows what the fuck he's doing.
No,
he knows what the fuck
100%.
he's doing, and he's like, hey, like, I didn't say it. I just don't like the show. Yeah, I cannot like a show.
Yeah, no, dude, it's not.
Okay.
I didn't do anything, man. I didn't do a damn thing. No, I just really want to make it clear to people that this shit does not fly with me. Just to keep it real, I thought the show was great. I thought, like, if I have any one criticism of the show, is that the person playing Mephisto is a whole ass Zionist, and I honestly don't.
Garbage.
I don't really even like Sacha Baron. Like, okay, I'll give you this. But to show you how nuanced I am, I don't like him. I don't like Sacha Baron Cohen. I'm not a fan of his, both in his work and in his IRL activities. And at the same time, I actually still enjoyed him in the role. I still wish it would have been someone else.
Of course.
It's like I can walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. But yeah, I'm sorry. I've been finger on the pulse of this thing. I have not just been seeing people talking about Mephisto. I've seen people talking about how much they love Zelma, how much they hope that we get a Strange Academy series, or like a Disney Plus special presentation about her, or like, man, is she gonna be in Doctor Strange 3? Oh my god, it was so cool seeing her, like, not just use magic, like not be knowledgeable of magic, but like she seemed really fucking in tune.
teleported 4 people just like hold on real quick. I'm like,
casually.
anyways, like, she's good.
Casually.
She's good. Yeah.
Like she was just like she literally just like, oh yeah, these aren't M&Ms anymore. These are jelly beans. Or these we changed the candy.
You know what we're gonna get?
What's that?
And I think this was their introduction to it. I think this might have been their pitch. So make sure you get out there on social media and just fucking make a simple post. Be like, just talk about her. Talk about her. Get it trending, right? Because of the success of shows like The Umbrella Academy, I bet we can get a Strange Academy.
Oh, 100%.
I bet we can get a Strange Academy.
Well, look, I say this all the time. All you people that fucking hate J.K. Rowling, like, you're like, man, fuck J.K. Rowling. Fuck Harry Potter. She will never get another dime of my money ever again. If you're looking for something, like, okay, here's what you really want to fuck up J.K. Rowling's bag? Stop buying Harry Potter shit. Go buy Strange Academy, because it's literally a better version of Harry Potter.
Way better.
Like, infinitely better. Infinitely better. Strange Academy is literally Harry Potter, but without focus on one specific character. Like, it was literally what it is. 100%. Like, okay. Imagine Harry Potter, but good. I mean, I'm throwing shit. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like Harry Potter's not a good book. I'm saying this is a guy who actually likes. I actually like Harry Potter. I don't like J.K. Rowling, but I'm just saying, like, when I try and put people on game about shit like this, like, dude, Strange Academy is such a good fucking series. It is literally for those, I guess, real quick, just for anyone who is not in the know or whatever, I'll just kind of pull this up real quick. But basically, Strange Academy. This is a group of kids who all come from very incredibly different backgrounds. Some of them come from Asgard. As you can see, one of them is from the dark dimension, Doyle Dormammu himself. You know, some of them, like, one of them is the voodoo or a descendant of the voodoo queen, Marie Laveau. You know, there's people who come from different dimensions, different realities, you know, people who have different types of powers, and they're all just trying to go to school and coexist. That is the
Is
Strange
it still
Academy.
ongoing, or they wrapped it up?
It's wrapped up now. They did recently have like they had, like, you know, One World Under Doom shit going on, but for the most part, like, as far as the main series itself, it technically came to a close, but the Strange Academy still exists, so it still pops up in different places.
Right.
So yeah, it's still very much a thing. But they did, what was it, basically, they did like first year, second year, I think they did a third year, and then they did like the finals. And now you have like they had a Blood Hunt tie-in. They had a Blood Hunt tie-in. They also had something else. They had another tie-in with something else. But point of the matter is that yes, these kids are awesome, and that was what it was. It wasn't a Strange Academy book, but they had a Midnight Suns comic where it took place at the Strange Academy, so you would see some of those characters. But that's where you get the lions, like, other than like the Doctor Strange run where Zelma shows up, that's where you get the lion's share of Zelma Stanton in comics, at least. But yeah, I saw lots of people talking about Natalie. I saw a whole bunch of people talk, like, Natalie literally kicked off a whole discussion about ethical AI and what AI should be versus, you know.
I thought she was gonna get deleted because of something you had said or somebody had posted, and I was trying to avoid spoilers because I hadn't watched it yet. And I thought I saw something about her, like, oh, not Natalie, or something about deleted. I'm like, oh, damn it. And so when that scene came up and he was telling her, nah, this is fucked up, and old dude was saying like this is wrong, you would delete it if you knew me at all. I was like, This is what happens. This is where it's gonna happen.
This is what,
Like,
dude.
oh,
This
oh, she's
is
still around. Yes.
it's like this is where the this is the like it's causing what I think are very interesting conversations to take place,
Yeah.
and it's also started a conversation about parents in the MCU. I was talking about this on the watch party, saying that I find it funny that two of the best, and I would actually say the best parents in the MCU are on the same show. Talking about Ronnie and Gary, Riri's parents. How Ronnie does not try to like take control of Riri's life. She recognizes what Riri does. She still worries for her and wants her to be careful. But at the end of the day, she's ride or die for her child in this show, just like how she is in the comics. In the comics, it's the same. Ronnie knows that Riri is Ironheart. She is fully aware of everything she's capable of. And but like a good parent, she worries. And she tries to implore Riri to be careful, but she never tries to do that shit that we see in other movies and TV shows that center around superheroes. Like, no, not under my roof. You're not gonna do that type of bullshit. And then, in the case of Gary, it's like, dude, he is a black father who is a stepfather to Riri, but Riri loves him just like he is her biological father. They show very sweet moments between them, and he's supportive, and he believes in her, and like he's like, these are basically like, these are the types of parents.
Sensitive.
Like, these are
Dances.
Yeah. These are goals. These are goals. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? These are like, and it makes it even so much more fucked up when we go back and think about that shit that Neurotic did, where he was, where they were playing on thing like, I guess our
missing father,
must be black, huh?
That's
like
right.
that bullshit.
That's right.
Yeah. Kind of funny that's the case, because man, it just really shows that you motherfuckers are either A, shit dads, or B, had shit dads. Yeah, like I said, y'all are really telling on yourselves. But to take it a step further, even beyond that, everything going on with the Hood. Everything going on with the side characters like Clown and Slug. Like, people were talking about, like, okay, are we all going to hyper-focus on Mephisto for a little while? Sure. But we all are walking and chewing bubblegum at the same time. If I scroll my fucking feed on Threads, it is nothing but people talking about, man, Natalie this, Natalie that, Natalie this, Natalie that, Zelma this, Zelma that, Zelma this, hell, Landon, fucking Landon, the little boy. And the motherfucker's talking about Landon. It's not like, look. Yeah, because I saw Bone Factory say this earlier. You're talking about how, like, to be fair, maybe the new rock stars are only talking about Mephisto. Yes, of course they are, because that's all they fucking do. That's all right. They fucking do is focus on, like, the one thing. And, we've got so much more here. And let's be reminded, this is a show that, well, yeah, it's for anybody. Anybody can watch it, but nobody puts together a show with a predominantly black and brown cast where all of your leads, all of your supporting characters, with the exception of like maybe one or two people. Actually, with the exception of two people, all of your fucking cast, your main principal cast, are black or brown.
100%.
The fact that most of the people who are in,
and that's what makes them mad. That's why motherfuckers like this feel comfortable saying
100%.
I didn't like this one. I didn't like this one.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, we literally had two black woman directors, writers. Exactly. The people controlling like what music gets played, costuming, choreography. There were, and not to mention, this is Proximity Media, Ryan Coogler's production house. He produced this shit. This is the blackest shit we have ever seen in the MCU to date. So let me tell you right now with my whole fucking chest, if you are a white person or just a non-black person, if you're not a part of the black and brown delegation, and you are sitting here saying, Seems like it had little fanfare. Didn't really move me. Didn't really move the needle for me. It didn't really have any fanfare. Cool, because it wasn't for you.
Yeah.
It wasn't
I would
for
tell them,
you.
Here we go. Let's put this out there. We need to clip this. We need to get on the internet. Actually, this advice can go for a lot of different things right here.
Mm.
If you go into a space where every woman is saying they love this thing and you're not a woman, shut the fuck up.
Talk to him.
Like, just shut up. Like, go mind your business. It wasn't made for you. Why are you trying to fucking, what was that? I heard somebody say, why are you trying to yuck their yum? You know what I'm saying? Like
coming in harsh with the vibes.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you are not black or brown, I mean, really, let's be real. You know, I appreciate it because I'm all about the black and brown solidarity. But for a show like this, if you're not black, period, and you don't like this show, shut the fuck up. Shut up. I don't give a fuck. Because really all you're doing, like, here, either shut the fuck up because you want to be a good person and you don't want to fucking yuck other people's yums, or you shut the fuck up because I'm letting you know right now, you're just telling on yourself.
Yes.
You're just telling on yourself. You're a racist. Period. Because you want to know something? When I sit there and I say I don't like things that are made for little kids, and I'm sorry, like y'all can, I'm fine with that. I don't clown anybody. If it's made for too young an audience, I've always been very open about that. And you know what that means? I'm not a huge fan of little kids. My grandson is an exception. You know what I mean? Because he's my blood. But in general, I don't really fucking like little kids like that. That's why I don't like fucking shit that's made for them. Because it doesn't appeal to me, that's for goddamn sure.
Well, I mean,
if you tell me you don't like a show that's predominantly black, made for black people, you're just letting me know you don't fucking like black people that much. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing else wrong with the movie.
No.
You know?
It's sad, and this is what I love. And this is why I always love having the type of community we have. Because like I say the same thing all the time when in regards to shit like this, and I'm gonna take this and kind of use it as an example for this specific thing. I always say that like I love all of my white friends. Like I'm talking about like people I fuck with. I love them because they allow me to go the fuck off. They say, hey, like they hear me saying, man, I can't stand these white motherfuckers sometimes, man. Damn, these white people piss me off. They know that I'm not talking about them.
That's right.
They don't try and make it about them. They don't go like, well, what about me? It's like, motherfucker, you know I'm not talking about you. And that's kind of like how, like that's how me and my wife are. Like, cause hell, like I was joking with somebody about this other day. You know, because I was like, man, these white people get on my last nerves. I was like, shit, my wife says that shit more than I do. Like, and my wife knows if I'm talking shit about white folks, she knows I'm not talking about her. She knows I'm not talking about her sisters either. Because they're not on that Fox News bullshit. And I kind of feel the same way about shit like this. Like, y'all know who I'm talking about. And this is why, like, comments like this, I think, are, important. Because, I want to showcase this one because I think that more people should have this attitude. Let me pull this up. Where'd it go? Here it is. Bam. Tay the Fader said, it wasn't quotey fingers for me as a white woman, but I ate Ironheart the fuck up. And that's what I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Y'all know. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So when
it's those motherfuckers, they're like, "Oh, I hate Nazis." Wait a minute. Why does everybody have to be a Nazi now? Like, why are you mad? R. Kelly just said it. A hit dog always hollers
every time. Every fucking time.
Sometimes they holler without even being hit. Like old dude you just brought up.
Oh yeah.
Like you didn't have to say shit. You know that, right? You could have just said. Go watch it. I don't know. There's other shit to talk about.
Dude,
goddamn.
There's still time. Like, also, I'm gonna be honest with you. If there's something that you don't like, and I know pot calling the kettle black because I'm a content creator. Yeah, do I make content about things I don't like? Not often. Not really. And
Right.
a lot of times I don't even
Right.
talk about shit I don't like. I'm like this, dude. You knew good and hell well you walked into this shit with personal biases. You literally talked cash money shit about the show before it even came the fuck out. And you constantly, at every opportunity, tried to remind people how troubled the production was and trying to give people all these weird little fucking like caveats and shit to try and like buttress your point that the show's bad in your eyes before you had even clapped eyes on it. And then you want me to take you seriously when you finally do supposedly watch it? But I can literally tell by how you're talking about it, you either A, fell the fuck asleep, or B, were playing on your phone while you were watching it, if you actually watched it. Dude, get the fuck out of my face with that shit, dude. Stop.
100%.
Fucking stop. Stop.
Nice.
Like, nah, dude. We're the fuck out of here. Look, you know what? I remember when Madam Web came out. Did I do a review for Madam Web? Yes, I did. But you know what I also did? I didn't just talk shit about the movie because I had some preconceived notion about it going into it. No, I knew the movie was going to be bad. But when I went to go see it, I hoped that I would be proven wrong.
Right.
And when I talked about the movie, did I roast the fuck out of it? Yes, I fucking did. But I also gave constructive criticism at every fucking turn. And I didn't also try and convince other people to think that it was bad or not bother with it or anything like that. I did the same thing with Craven. Even I did not like fucking Craven. I still don't like it is still.
It was all right. It was all right. It was all right.
but I went into it automatically knowing it was probably going to be some bullshit.
Right.
And I still watched it, hoping I would be proven wrong. But when these movies came out, the difference between me and John Campia, other than the fact we have completely different follower base, and he has way more followers than me.
Clearly.
Clearly
By the comments. Clearly.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But the difference between he and I, majorly, is that I didn't go around saying, nobody's talking about Craven. I mean, I did say nobody was checking for Craven, but I mean, the thing is, I didn't say it based on bullshit.
Right.
Because the truth was, nobody was fucking checking for that shit. That's why it fucking bombed at the box office. Same thing goes for Venom: The Last Dance. Same thing goes for fucking Morbius. Same thing fucking goes for Madam fucking Web. These are movies that are legitimately bad. Critically panned. Now, I'm curious to know what his thoughts on Sinners was. Was he walking around saying that nobody was really talking about Sinners?
I didn't really understand the hype,
Right?
It wasn't bad, but there are scarier movies out there.
Right? The whole thing where like all the African people showed up and they were twerking in the middle of the juke. I don't know. I don't really know what that was supposed to be. I just don't really get it.
So was the fire real? Because it was still there the next day, but it burned down. I did not get it.
That whole scene when they looked up and the roof was on fire and the walls that come down. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand how they got the building and the roof back in the next scene. It just didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I kind of want to know more. Yeah, I like I said, I'm actually gonna. You know what? I think that all. You know what? Let me look this up. I actually want to look this up. We're not gonna watch it, but like I'm curious. I'm actually curious to see what this motherfucker had to say about Sinners. Oh, he actually apparently he must have liked it because he's glazing it. So it's one of those things. I wonder. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I have to wonder about him because I haven't seen him always have this energy for black, for black media.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I haven't always seen this.
So hold on. Let's not gloss over that. All right, let's be for real.
Yeah.
He glazed Sinners.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking. I don't see. Like this is awesome. Like what kind of thumbnails?
So
what
here. Let's pull this up. I'm gonna pull these up.
Best movie of the year.
Like it's like, interesting. So I wonder. I really want to know the psychology behind it. Like I want to know the psychology behind it because, like I say, he's not very consistent. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm okay with doing this.
Yeah.
I'm okay with doing this. So you know, and I'll speak for myself. I said earlier,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be charitable, and we're gonna say tone deaf. And we talked about what the difference between somebody like Methodic and this dude is.
Mm.
I have to walk back. I have no choice but to walk back the statements I make regarding you just don't like black, you know, black shit. If it like you don't get much blacker than sinners, and it's not even because of black characters.
No.
Black characters, black story. You know, the joy and the pain. It is a black American movie. So if he can sit there and look at that and go, I love it, then I have to take back what I said about if you don't like this, then you're clearly a racist. But what I still say is, because this is true of everyone to some degree, you know what I mean? And if you're black, a lot of, you know, tell me you haven't met an anti-black person, right? Everyone to some degree is affected by white supremacy in our indoctrination and the way we're raised. So when you look at a show, even if your complaints might be legitimate, then you look and you watch a bunch of people love this show, especially when they're all black people, you know, like this is a great show that black nerds are loving. It's still tone deaf and a product of your own racist upbringing, you know.
Right.
When you could sit there and go, I didn't like it. I don't like that shit. Like what are you doing, dude? Like what are you doing? But I do take it back. If he's gonna sit there and call a movie like Sinners, the best movie of the year, then clearly there has to be something else going on with him and Ironheart. That's just
like I said, I want to know what it is. I legitimately want to know what it is.
Yeah.
If he would tell me, I feel like because honestly, in the things that he brings up, they're not passing the smell test. They're not passing the smell test. I have a lot of questions. Especially considering like some of the other stuff, because I saw some people bring up in like some of his in the Ironheart review, and I actually thought it was funny that this came up. This is how we pit black and brown against each other. I saw one comment that lives rent free in my head from his video is that, well, he loved Ms. Marvel, so clearly he's not someone to judge. He's not he's not someone to listen to about whether something was good or bad. Now, this was in response to him saying that Ironheart was trash, but also at the same time saying that Ms. Marvel was trash, which I'm like, I don't agree with that either. That's what I'm saying. Like, so many things can be true at the same time. But like, I do agree that like there are some things he said that he does not like. I'm like, dude, we watch something different. We clearly watch something different.
And some things are sus. You know what I mean? Like, I do take it back how, like, absolute I was about it. But it's still, I'm not going to say it's not sus. It's still something going on there. You know, Jon Stewart's made a good point. That dude just following trends. He saw Sinners getting a lot of praise, so he just had to jump on the train, you know?
I guarantee you that's what it was.
Just like X-Men 97, right? Like, it's like you want to hate something, you want to talk shit about it. Ah, fuck. Everyone likes this shit. Let me shut the fuck up about this show. You know what I mean? But with Ironheart, based on how Disney did not fucking push out the advertisement, based on the fact that, you know, who was that in Twitch, in the Twitch side, Rough Rider said, you know, clearly showed that they didn't have faith in the first place, the way they dropped it into two batches like that. You know what I mean?
100%.
And so since they did the show like that, it didn't get the kind of reception X-Men 97 and Sinners got. So now it's safer to talk shit about it.
It just, I don't know. I just find it very, I don't know. I just find it all interesting. I find it all very interesting. But I'll say this much.
Agreed.
I loved Ironheart. In fact, like I said, if there's any other thing that it
was very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
If there's any one thing I don't like about how it ended, I saw a lot of people get upset about how it ended, because I get why some people are upset because how Disney is about doing second seasons. I was like, I get it, especially because Luke Cage season 2 lives rent free in my head. the way that show ended and then immediately got canceled. Like, that show ended on a fucking cliffhanger like a motherfucker, and was just like, yep, too bad, sorry, you only get no more of this. But then, you know, with this show ending the way that it does, it's like, man, well, where the fuck are they going to wrap this up? Because Marvel is also notorious for not following up on things that they set up, or if they do follow up, it takes them so long to do it that people forget about it. You know, like it's kind of crazy. Like the whole, like, I always like to use Adam Warlock as an example. That by the time they finally did pay off Adam Warlock, because let's see here, let's do a little googling. Let's do a little googling. Let's see, Guardians of the Galaxy release dates. Let's see here. So we got okay, no, not the first one. I want we want Volume 2. Volume 2 came out in 2017. 2017. We didn't get a follow-up or an answer, or so much as even like an understanding of what was the importance of Adam Warlock that James Gunn had set up until 2023. Now, that doesn't sound like a long time, probably. Like, you know, because, you know, once we're past it. But, like, when you think about the fact that, like, that was the thing everybody was fucking asking about.
Yeah.
You know, like, we're talking, like, it was 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 6 years? 6 years that we went.
I mean, 6 years from when he was born.
Yeah. Well,
way before that, when he presented him as an egg, right?
Yeah. Well, no, that was 2017. When the egg, that was the egg. That was the egg.
All right.
But well, no, and technically there was even a Easter egg to him in the original Guardians of the Galaxy. So I mean, yeah, when you really think about it, yeah. So technically, even though it was at the time it was just an Easter egg, it really didn't mean shit. But now when you fast forward,
for
like
comic fans, we've been waiting for him since the Easter egg. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. And to be fair, some of that is not entirely, well, it is kind of Disney's fault, because they did fire James Gunn over some shit that he had already apologized for, that they knew about before they fired him, that they knew about before they hired him, but because it was public, they had to fire him to save face, because that's how the corporate world works. But
that's right. That's how Disney's shit works.
Dude, Disney is like that, like a motherfucker, and I'm looking. Yeah. But that said, what I'm kind of focused on here is just the fact that, the idea that maybe we won't see a follow-up to this, like, okay, at best.
That's the part.
Yeah, that's like, at best, we get a season 2, but when do we get that season 2? Is it going to be 6 years from now? Because something I will point out, and it's the only thing that I agreed with, really, as far as what John Campea said, was that this show was shot 3 years ago. Because that's like undeniably true. I actually still have the images I saved from when Just Jared had leaked the set photos that were from the first episode, I believe it was, where she's in like the suit and like Hood's walking up. I still remember the first time we talked about those on the Blerd Cave 5 fucking ever ago. Like, matter of fact, dude, y'all wanna, I wonder if I can do this. Let's see. Can I pull this up? I want to see if I can pull this up on my channel. Let's do a little quick search for Ironheart. I want to see how far back in the way back machine we're gonna go to see, because I know, like I said, I know for a fact. I talked about this on the Cave, and maybe even before Carter was a co-host. If that tells you,
that's a long ass. What are you talking about? Like, that's like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, right? Yeah, that was like a good long ass time ago. But that it was a whole thing. It was literally a whole thing. And like I said, I can't find it right now, but I mean, I promise you, it was most certainly a fucking thing. But no, I think like that's one way to look at it. And the other way I'm choosing to look at it is because I feel like this show is more of a setup, kind of in the same way that Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a setup for Captain America Brave New World. I feel like this show is a setup for champions, because we can't forget that in the Marvels, for those who actually took the time to watch it, they did do a setup for champions where Ms. Marvel and Kate Bishop meet to talk about what's going to happen. We've already been introduced to Wiccan. We've technically been introduced to Kid Loki. We've been introduced to America Chavez. We've met Patriot in the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. That's like 6 motherfuckers right there, and I haven't even brought up Ironheart yet.
Wait, what's the difference between Champions and Young Avengers?
Roster.
So that's the Kate Bishop, Kid Loki. I thought they were setting up Young Avengers because of Kid Loki, Kate Bishop.
They're setting
Wiccan.
up. They're setting up so this is what they're doing. Instead of actually making something called Young Avengers, I think what they're ultimately just going to do is just make them the champions.
Got it.
They might go Young Avengers route, but honestly, the champions and the Young Avengers have a lot of crossover. You have all of the younger characters, and if I remember correctly, I think champions is like one of the things that's actually been talked about. But like you have those things, you put them together, hit puree, because it's gonna be kind of like what they did with a lot of other shit. They took other stuff, threw it in the blender, and said, "Hey, here we go. This is what we got."
You have Miles Morales on there. I'm still waiting for that.
Yeah, so. I think right now, as it stands, the only characters who have not been introduced that... and that was the other thing. Because they were also talking about at one point bringing Sam Alexander into the MCU, who is the Nova that's on Champions. That's why I say, like, they have an equal number of characters either out or in development who could neatly fit into either roster. And the reason why I kind of lean a little bit more towards the Champions is because the Champions actually actively dealt with Mephisto in the comics, and they actually had Riri do something on the show that was basically what Miles Morales did in Champions. So what I mean is, cutting a deal. Cutting a deal with Mephisto to save Kamala Khan's life.
I think that would be my biggest critique there. I mean, every show was dope. Every show was great. I didn't really have anything. I didn't have any legitimate criticisms on anything,
right?
Except for it. I like it when writers who don't know if they're getting a season 2 make sure that the show is wrapped up nicely,
nice and neat. Yes.
Yeah. Don't drop me. Okay, here's Riri. She makes a deal with the devil, and you don't even know if this bitch is coming back or not. You know what I mean? Not Riri the bitch. The show the bitch.
The show. You know I knew what you meant. No, but that's kind of where that's my criticism. It's like, okay, if there's anyone real like when we're like not talking about you hired a Zionist. No, I'm talking about something that actually has to do with the show itself. That is the one thing where I'm like, I'm choosing to have faith. Choosing to. But that's
maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe they're like, it's getting a season 2. Don't worry. We know that at least for sure. I'm like, okay. Maybe.
Well, and I've actually seen, I think it was either one of the directors or one of the writers. They basically said that, like, they don't know if they're getting a season 2, but they basically just encourage people to keep streaming the show and make the show undeniable, which is what I've been encouraging everybody to do as well. Stream the show. Stream the fucking show. Keep streaming the show. So that way you get more.
I'm going to tell you this much. I'm going to tell you what sucks. For those who care, Disney just got added to the BDS list because Disney is putting in a lot of money to APAC and in Israel and shit. And that sucks because it's like, look, I'm a Coke Zero motherfucker. and I'm like, they're not in my refrigerator. I don't go to McDonald's. I haven't been to Burger King, which is fine. Not a sacrifice. My fat ass should not be eating there anyway. But it's like, but then I saw Disney, and I'm like, let me finish Ironheart real quick. I'll cancel it. So let me finish Ironheart real quick.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a.
But it's not gonna help. It's not gonna help the numbers. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing.
No. It's like I said, it's wild. It's wild, and like I said, if you are one of those people who like I said, if you think that you don't have to do your part. You can do the stay home thing. Or not stay home, but like just I'm just not gonna. I'll just catch it later. I mean, look, I get it. There's a lot of shit that's coming out right now. There's a lot of stuff that's out right now. You're not spoiled for choice on options. I think Thunderbolts is now on VOD. The Old Guard Part 2 has finally released. Sandman Season 2 got stealth dropped last night. Like literally like a thief in the night that shit showed up.
What?
Yeah. Sandman Season 2 Part 1 stealth drop.
I know why. You know damn well they still drop that shit. Like, hey, just don't tell nobody. Just throw it on there.
Yeah.
I don't need any fucking campaigns.
Man, there's like, look, hurry up and get look, the motherfuckers, they gently dropped that shit on Netflix in the middle of the night like it was some goddamn yellow cake uranium. They set that shit down gently. They're like, don't drop it. Don't drop that shit. Just easy.
Walk away.
Okay, all right.
Don't look you straight in the eyes. Just walk away. You gotta back up. If you run, it's gonna make it worse.
Right? They're like, nah. I'm like, nah. What else? There was something else that dropped too on the slick. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, there. Let me go to my. Let me go to the Oracle. Let me go to the Oracle here. So yes.
What's your Oracle?
6 episodes. It's The Good Place.
Is it the same as mine?
Yeah, The Good Place.
Oh, okay.
No, just The Good Place. Just The Good Place.
Yeah.
But no.
That's what I call my ChatGPT.
Oh, the Oracle.
I would never use that. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, we got, Thunderbolts dropped. Thunderbolts hit VOD. Old Guard 2 dropped. And what was the other one? Yeah, Sandman dropped 6 episodes last night, middle of the night. And Revival is still just chugging along. So so yeah, I mean, and not only that, what was it? There's been other shit that's just been kind of hitting the airwaves too. Like, you're not spoiled for choice. There's, like I said, there's plenty of shit out there. Cause shit, what was that movie? Idris Elba, the Suicide Squad re-up between Peacemaker and was it Bloodshot, whatever the fuck his name was. That movie, it just hit the waves. It just hit the VODs and box office masterpiece. Lilo and Stitch live action adaptation is out there in the weeds.
Have you seen it yet?
I haven't watched it yet. Everyone tells me it's terrible, but I'm not gonna lie.
Is it?
I don't know. I have no idea. Well, see, here's the thing. A lot of people who told me that it was terrible also didn't really like. They don't really like any of the Disney live action remakes, and that's kind of where I'm just like, okay, whatever. I was like, oh, that was the other thing. That movie Tornado. That samurai it's a samurai revenge movie that's kind of almost like a little bit of a western. It's got Tim Roth in it. And it's pretty damn cool. It's like kind of like an Irish western samurai style movie. It's crazy. Like and then Bring Her Back. Bring Her Back is on VOD right now. So you got plenty of shit to watch.
My wife watched that again, and I watched the ending.
Oh man.
Look, I didn't watch the knife scene, but I did watch the counter scene again. That shit still fucked me up. But if you've only seen it one time, it is worth a second watch, because this shit I missed from the first one in the theater because I was so traumatized that that I caught it the second time around. It was
I almost forgot. Squid Game came out. The final season of Squid Game came out just less than a week ago. So like there's
shit. Wait, already. I didn't know the old I mean, didn't the other season come out less than a year ago?
Yes. They basically what they did that thing where they shot It was
The
a way
whole
for them.
thing.
It was basically a way for them to like split it so they could have 3 seasons as opposed to 2. But basically, what they did is they shot the second season all at once, and they know how much people hate that. Ooh, season 1, part 2, season 1, part 3. Because they did that shit with Stranger Things.
Mid-season break. Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of doing Squid Game season 2, part 1, and then season 2, part 2, they did it. They did is, oh no, it's season 2, and then oh, it's season 3, because they literally bleed right into each other. And for whatever reason though, they still did that shit with Sandman. Like it's like they're so fuck. Oh, I forgot the Bear season 4. You watched the Bear season 4. You got plenty of shit to watch.
Either. She loves that shit. Gilded Age started too.
Oh,
apparently
Smoke?
Gilded Age is.
Yep.
What is
that show Smoke with Taron Egerton and Journey Smollett? That shit came. The one with the one where it's like a firefighter and like an investigator, like, and they're trying to figure out like, oh, who's setting all these fires? That shit just came out. Poker Face just ended. Murderbot, I think, is about to end. Look, we got plenty of shit to watch. So I'm just telling y'all do what you want with your free time. I'm not trying to tell y'all motherfuckers what to do with it, because goddamn it, Lord knows I got plenty of shit to watch, and I'm not watching all of it either. I still haven't finished. I got to catch up on Duster, because I've been fucking enjoying the shit out of that show. What was the other one? And then I gotta catch up on The Bear. That's another one. I gotta finish Dope Thief. I'd never finished Dope Thief, so I gotta finish that too. So yeah, I mean, like I said, we're spoiled for choice. So I mean, if you don't want to watch Ironheart, don't fucking watch it. I'm not telling you that you have to, but I will say this: if you're one of those motherfuckers that wants more Ironheart, but you didn't watch it, you only have yourself to blame.
Yeah. And if you didn't like it, you're probably racist.
Probably. Very probably. Very probably. Dude, you know what? Chris brought up something that I didn't think about too. The Poop Cruise. I need to watch that. They have the whole train wreck series of of
Man-Eater saw it. It's pretty gross.
Gross. I believe it. I have been slowly acquiring because they have another one like the Cult of American Apparel, and they had one about Astro World and the Mayor of Mayhem and shit like that. So like those are all things. Can I tell you all something? Yeah.
I mentioned it earlier with Jordan. Look, I fucking hate. I'm not lying. I hate reality TV. I hate it. It's produced. Every time my daughter and my wife and they love that show, I'm like, the producers, like, this is not real life. Like this is all contrived.
Yes, it is.
And so they watch that shit. I'm like, I'm not watching that shit. And then I kind of like, I think I had to eat or something. So I'm like, hey, sometimes I take it to the office. I'm like, leave it on. Fuck it. You guys already have it on.
Yeah, hooked.
Done.
Well,
Done.
I can tell you this.
It's real to me, damn it.
Right? as he's getting ready to go watch Love Island. But no,
man,
honestly,
that shit is good. Just you know what it is? I'm gonna tell you right now what it is. Somebody said, "Oh, if you like it, you'll love season 7." I don't give a fuck about another. You know what really make this shit is live.
Yeah.
Like these motherfuckers are fighting like right now, and then you watch what happened that day, the night, and then you can vote live. And like some people get sent home based off of how you vote. I'm like, man, I'm hooked. I'm hooked.
See, you would thrive in the world of the Running Man.
Yeah,
thrive.
Yeah. Like no. Fucking who's it? Hunger Games?
Oh,
I'm one of them like rich people. Like, man, I'm all day. Like, yeah, go ahead. Put the thing on. District 7's about to go. Is gonna play today.
Look, this motherfucker. Look. This would be Robo in the audience of the Running Man. That would be him. He would be Gladys. He would be Gladys on the Running Man. Just be like, which, by the way, did you see they're actually remake I mean, this is worst kept secret, but they were remaking that movie, The Running Man.
I thought they. What was I thinking? Didn't they just do a remake?
No, well, so what they're doing is they're not remaking the movie. They're basically remaking it as, well, technically they're actually, I think what they're doing, they're just adapting the book. Because the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger is not really like the book. It's like The Running Man in name only. Which is fine.
What am I thinking of? There's a movie that came out within the last, I don't know, 5 years, 6, 7 tops. That I thought it was a Running Man, Blade Runner.
That was Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
Was it 2049? Yeah. So yeah. No, that's something different. No, Running Man is the one where they're on the game show. Where the evil corporation basically snatches people off the street and it basically takes political, for the most part, not always political prisoners, but basically what they do is they take people off the street, put them on the show. They frame it as though it's a reality show, but it actually isn't. I mean, the show is real. People are actually getting killed. But the way that they framed it in the original movie was like it was a whole ass fucking game show. And Arnold Schwarzenegger and his buddies get captured and they get put on the game show. And the people don't realize that they're being lied to because it's all propaganda. Like, it's, like Running Man is one of those movies that, like, you say what you will about the movie itself, it actually predicted a lot of shit that is going on in our world today. Like how corporations literally, like, oh, that was the other thing. How they used, dude, this shit was so ahead of its time. Running Man is why we have deep fakes. Running Man is 100% why we have deep fakes. Because deep fakes play a part in that fucking movie. Like, literally,
no shit.
Literally faking footage and showing it to people to make them believe what the corporation wants them to. Like have you, if you've never seen it, I highly recommend you watch it.
No, I've never seen it, but you know who did deepfakes? First of all, hold on before I forget.
Yeah.
SEAL Unit 2000. What is the? Oh, Nebula. That's not new. Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah. Okay. I was like, ooh, what's this?
Yeah.
I haven't signed up for Nebula, but if you guys do, go over to FT Signifier, and he's got a little code there because he's one of the people's. But anyways,
oh yeah, it's if you they had a featurette about the Running Man when they had released it on DVD for the first time, and it lives rent free in my head. It was a documentary that actually taught me how reality shows are made. Because Running Man basically set the table for reality TV as we know it.
Got it.
They actually talked about like the early days of Survivor and kind of showing you how fake reality TV actually is.
Got it.
But yeah, I'm telling you,
Sinners used deepfake.
They did
not like the brand deepfake, but it was they deepfaked. Instead of like using CGI, that's why it looks so good.
Right.
When like one of them was real, one of them was a double, and then they put his face on there.
Yeah. And they did it seamlessly. They did it seamlessly. That's why the cigarette scene where he's rolling the cigarette for Smoke, where Stack is rolling the cigarette for Smoke. That's why that scene is so flawless. Because of how it's made. Because there was an actual person there.
Yeah, because your brain is like,
yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I didn't realize why at first. I was like, I'm watching it, and because it's so good, and they're not doing any of the tricks they usually do when a single actor is playing twins. I literally. And this, by the way, also says a lot to his acting ability. I literally leaned over to my wife. I'm like, "This is the same actor or two different actors?"
No, see, that's Mike. See, that's Michael B. Jordan. That's Michael A. Jordan.
A. Jordan. I was like, yeah, wait, is there Michael A. Jordan? I literally thought. I was like, okay, so that was Michael B. Jordan. I didn't notice it, but that was
yeah.
Is it just a guy? Am I being racist? Is it? Do I think they're the same guy?
Right. Yeah. Social
Network.
Network.
Both Michael B. Jordan. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Social Network did the same thing. Yeah, with the twins. Yep, sure fuck did. Sure, fuck did.
yeah,
They actually they used, but the technique they used was a little bit more crude because the technology didn't really fully exist. I will say this though, before we get out of here, we do have a couple of things I want to hit before we jump. Bone Factory hit us with the Blerd Club Gold a while back. Said, Robo, I need you to look up the book Infinite Jest. I think that is what Idiocracy was inspired by. Great book.
I pulled it up when you were, that's what's up.
That's the shit right there. I actually showed Idiocracy to my mom the other day. She had never seen it. And she was like, because I told her, I said, when you watch this movie, you're not gonna think that it's a mockumentary. You're gonna feel like this is a documentary. And when we got to the end, she was just like, wow. Like her mind was blown.
Right.
And then we got a question here from Lamar Norman. We'll answer this one, and then we'll probably get ready to get the fuck on up out of here.
Yeah.
Says, hey, Blerd and Robo, what threw on the Diamond Chaos and will it hurt? The comics industry? Poor business decisions. That's what did it. Poor business decisions and
greed.
And greed, yes.
And greed,
like,
yeah.
That's
DC
the short
thinking
answer.
that they were going to do something cool coming out with Tuesday. Like, why are you trying to change it up? You're not going to get any extra money. But as a matter of fact, you're going to lose money because motherfuckers just don't even want to fuck with you anymore. You know, talk about Diamond. Yeah, that shit was wild.
Yeah.
But also it was the the supply chain being broken because of COVID and other people trying to swoop in to fix it.
Diamond
and capitalize off it.
Yeah, Diamond never recovered from that. And my sister-in-law worked for the Diamond warehouse for a while. And even she told me about how some of the shit that was like going on there, like she was like, it was literally like before word got out that Diamond was like filing like bankruptcy and was like probably gonna go out of business. She had told me like a year ago that she was like, yeah, Diamond probably won't be around much longer. And I was like, ooh. So when like the word actually got out, I was like, damn, she was right. Yes, and I did see Boy Kills World. Did you see that one? Did you watch Boy Kills World?
No.
It was not the greatest movie I'd ever seen, but it was a fun movie. It was a fun movie. It was.
I don't think I've even heard of it.
It didn't really get advertised very well, but basically it had the Bill Skarsgård, the Crow.
Oh.
And basically his Bob's Burgers was his inner monologue because his character didn't speak. So H. John Benjamin.
I have heard of that movie, and then what you just said just now reminded me. I haven't seen it, but I remember hearing somebody talk about it.
Yeah, he so basically every time you heard him speak, it was his inner monologue, and it was basically Bob. And what was crazy about it was like I say, I thought it was a fine movie. I didn't think it was like the greatest thing I'd ever seen. Had really good action sequences in it though. But yeah, it was one of those movies kind of came and went. But it did actually have an interesting message because kind of like The Running Man, it was basically a same kind of vibes where everything was kind of framed around a reality show. Like what Mike's talking about here, like all the prisoners getting iced by breakfast cereal mascots and shit. It was pretty fucking crazy. But yeah, and I'll say too, fuck it, we'll answer this one too because it's kind of relevant to what we got here. Also, it says, how do you guys think the Superman and Fantastic Four will do overall box office with everything going on with this current administration?
Great.
Very good. I can tell you this much. I know a lot of people are saying Superman's in trouble. I don't think it is. I'll tell you what, though. I'll be able to talk about it next Thursday because I'm going to go see it early. I'm gonna be going to catch an early screening on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. Nice. So I'll be able to talk about it when we come back. For Nerds of Culture, well, that'll be our thing. But we're gonna talk about a non-spoiler. We'll save the spoiler shit for the following week. Is what we'll do.
We're talking about which comes first?
Superman comes first.
Oh, it does.
Superman comes out the 11th, and Fantastic Four comes out the 25th.
What a fucking month. July is awesome.
Yeah. And we just got Jurassic World Rebirth this week. So it's literally
And
like
I heard,
Mhm.
I haven't watched a lot of Jurassic Parks,
Mhm.
and ever since that one fucking brontosaurus type thing fucking died in the lava, I'm like, I'm not fucking watching this shit again. Fuck that. I heard this past one
Mhm.
was the best out of all. I mean, of course, except for the first one. I heard it was really fucking good.
See, I've heard different things. I've heard
Uh-huh.
people fucking like. Okay, here's the thing. People either think it's the the greatest thing, like motherfuckers are like talking about how like it's okay, it's a tale of two reviews. You got people who are like this, and then you got people who are like this. Like those are the only types of reviews I have seen this entire week. People who I know who saw it early, they were all like saying
they can't hear it, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Oh shit, my bad. Well, I wonder why. Oh, you know why? Because just like how the chat, just like how y'all couldn't hear Robo and Jordan at first when we first signed in, that's why. Because I didn't go back and check all of the like I should have checked them all. But yeah, basically I don't know why it fucking does that too. Like ever so often it'll just go in and change all of my shit. Like all of my shit has been like except for like the mic, everything has been changed.
It's a Windows update. They fuck it up
every fucking time. But yeah, basically, let's try it again. Basically, you're getting reviews that are ranging everywhere from
but the cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah.
To reviews like this.
Reviewers are calling it everything from shit to fucking shit.
And that's basically it. That's basically it. Those are all the reviews I've seen. That like everyone I know that has seen it early, that is all they've been saying. The people who love it fucking love it. The people who hate it fucking hate it. I think it's
I
gonna
need
be
to find
fine.
out who loved it and find out like what else. What other movies do you like?
I mean, honestly, of the new ones, it can't be worse than Dominion.
Yeah.
Of the Jurassic World
Dominion
movies,
I
didn't like Dominion. I didn't care
boring.
for it. I fell asleep. Like I will say this, it had one of my favorite dinosaurs in it.
What's that?
The shit. And now that you ask me,
I mean, the coolest dinosaur is the Stegosaurus, clearly. So
no,
it has spikes on his tail. What?
No. The Therizinosaurus.
What?
Yeah, it's funny because the way they frame the dinosaur in the movie is kind of disingenuous, but they kind of make
It's a bird. It's a bird dinosaur.
Kind of. It's bird, basically big ass fucking bird with long ass fucking claws, basically.
Yeah, it's a fucking Wolverine dinosaur.
But yeah, that's basically it. But that was one of my favorite things. Also, it had so this and DeWanda Wise are the only things that I liked about Dominion.
All right.
So yeah, I didn't care for all the ooh, look at all the nostalgia characters. Hey, we brought back Dr. Grant and Dr. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Get the motherfuckers fucking out of here, dude. If I want to see them, you know what I can do? I can go put in Jurassic Park 1. Okay. Look, now if you really want to get somebody the fuck up out of here, get Chris Pratt the fuck on up out of here. You know, why couldn't he get it? But anyway,
what was the one where they like made up their own dinosaurs?
That was the first Jurassic World, where they had Indominus Rex.
Right.
Yeah, they had the Indominus Rex that could do all that.
Wait, is that
bullshit.
the one where the brontosaurus thingy died in the lava at the end? That was the world one, right?
That was Fallen Kingdom, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think it was the second Jurassic World movie. Yeah, it was that one. Which also had another one.
I'm pretty sure
of my
I've only
favorites.
seen Jurassic Park 1 and 2. I'm pretty sure I've never seen any other ones.
Oh, they're all in the good place.
Yeah. I need to get on it.
But first things first, you got to watch Running Man. You gotta watch Running Man.
Running Man. Yeah, that is definitely a movie of my generation, and I've seen Total Recall.
Yeah, watch that shit.
But I've never seen Running Man. You know,
it's good. I mean, just you kind of have to go with some things, but seeing
I gotta know what year it was made in.
Oh yeah, no, it's Richard. I think it was Richard Dawson, the guy who used to be the original host of Family Feud.
Yeah,
he plays the game show host. The guy that was always kissing everybody.
Right, snowman.
And the best part is he's playing a sleazy
himself. That's good.
He's playing himself basically. Basically. I mean, more or less. So I mean, it actually works. So I mean, you don't feel sorry for him.
That's right.
And yeah, it's got Yaphet Kotto and oh my God, what was the lady's name? Oh my God. Fuck, I'm gonna blank on her name. Maria Conchita Alonso. Got her in it too. So yeah.
Okay.
Great shit. Also, the funniest, the funniest. I'm not trying to be fat phobic, but basically the funniest fat man faux pas in the history of cinema, as far as I'm concerned. There's a character named Dynamo. Oh my God, he is fucking hilarious. and not on purpose either. It's like, cut the commercial. Actually, you know what? I need to clip that. I need to clip that shit. That's my homework tonight. I'm gonna clip Dynamo yelling, "Cut the commercial." Cut the commercial. Yeah, it was great. Anyway, ladies, gentlemen, imbies, children of, I hope not all ages, because this is not an all ages show.
If you ain't 18, you gotta go.
For real. Like, I'm sorry. Y'all ain't about to get me in trouble. But yes, thank you all so much for watching the show. We're gonna do like questions from the Discord and stuff and all other shit next time. Because we're gonna get up out of here. I think we provided a nice amount of show. And I definitely we got some hopping John in the kitchen, so I'm gonna go get on that. But yeah, anyway, thank you all for your time. Go check out some of the latest videos that are hidden if you want to learn more about Godzilla Escape the Dead Zone. Got an interview up talking about that. Videos for some X-Men stuff, Hellfire Vigil, some of the books that came out last week, and Best Comics this week. They're going to come out over the course of the weekend, I think. I think that's when I'm going to start doing Best Comics this week. Save it for the end of the week. And yeah, Robo, do you have anything you want to throw up?
No, I will likely be live tomorrow. Especially since Maneater was like, she has something specifically she wants me to talk about.
Ooh. So this was gonna be sponsored by Maneater.
Yeah, she's like, just talk about it on stream. I'm like, bet.
Ooh, wait. Is she gonna join us? Is she gonna join the stream?
I wish. No. She was. Yeah, I tried to tell her. I'm like, we'll just pull up the chair, and she goes, no, I don't want to.
What? But don't she always be talking about wanting to stream and shit?
She talks out her ass. She ain't ever.
Look, I'm telling you, man, dude. Tell her, look, man, y'all could be the next. I'm trying to think of like a podcast couple, but I'm blanking all of a sudden. But whatever one of those.
Cody Ko is and his girl.
yeah, you could be the woke Cody Ko and his girl. That's right. Yeah, there you go. But yes, we didn't go deep into Ironheart. We talked about it briefly. More not so much Ironheart itself, but something surrounding it. But I will say, if you want to see more about that, go watch the watch party from yesterday. We talked about it a lot there. And yeah, I don't have anything else. So all I'm going to say is, for Robo of Left Face TV, I am the Blerd Without Fear. And John Campia.
We coming for you, nigga!